Vaping sucks you in quick, and the more you vape, the harder it is to quit. Not to mention all the chemicals and health problems. That's why thousands of teens are joining My Life, My Quit. Visit mylifemyquit.com or text StartMyQuit to 36072.
So, what's next? Your path doesn't have to look like theirs. You can do this, or this, or this. Check out in-demand jobs in Idaho and get up to $8,000 to find your thing.
Help dreams come true with the Ideal 529 Education Savings Program. Our easy-to-use tools make it simple to plan for your child's education. With tax benefits and ownership flexibility, Ideal is the perfect way to save for college, trade school, apprenticeships, K-12 education, and student loan repayment nationwide. Join us at our next webinar to learn more about the 529 plan. Enrolling takes just 15 minutes, and you can start with just $25. Visit idsaves.org to learn more.
At Valleywide Cooperative, we're here when you need us. For 100 years, we have been here to help you with food, fuel, and good old-fashioned advice. And for us, serving is more than a job, it's a way of life, which is why we pour so much into the communities around us. We've employed hundreds of your neighbors. We take pride in that, and in giving back millions in sponsorships, grants, donations, and scholarships. It's our way of saying thanks. We're Valleywide, and yesterday, today, and tomorrow, we're here for you.
We do things differently in Idaho. Sometimes we go east to find west, where muddy trails meet huckleberry smiles. Stars shine electric, and the wind smells like destiny. Sure, our traffic jams are strange, and not all our steaks are ribeyes. But wherever we go, our eyes never leave the road. Belts strapped and dreams packed, no distractions, no phones, focused. From here to there, it's who we are.
Welcome into this IdahoSports.com GameStreams production of Magic Valley Game Night. Coverage on IdahoSports.com is presented by Project Filter, Valleywide Cooperative, Next Steps Idaho, Ideal, which is Idaho's College Savings Program, and the Idaho Office of Highway Safety. Hi, everyone, and welcome in. My name is Dallin Fryer. I'm joined tonight by Wyatt Helm on camera and color commentary. Tonight, we come to you live from Burley High School, where the Minico Spartans will take on the Burley Bobcats in the River Rivalry, the battle for the Golden Ore, a rivalry that really, I live near here now, so I've really started to feel the battle between these two. But this is a rivalry that has been absolutely dominated by Minico in the last 21 years, 21-0 for the Spartans coming to this one. So obviously a lot at stake for them that way, and also Burley that way, trying to come back from what has been really dominated by by Minico over the years.
Yeah, definitely. Good to be here, though. It's a beautiful, beautiful Idaho fall night. Really excited to watch some football. Always exciting when these communities that are so close to each other, divided by a river, and really a good opportunity for both teams to come out and compete. And, athletic programs get a good gate. A lot of people going to be at the game. So excited for that.
Yeah, absolutely. And especially as we are getting into conference play, this is Burley's conference opener, actually, which across the state, that's kind of what we're starting to see across the state in general. But Minico has actually played 2 conference games already. They'll actually have 2 non-conference games along with 2 other conference games throughout the rest of the season. But Burley, a little bit of a way, we described it off air to each other as the scores don't look great, but they've actually been a lot closer in their games than it seems.
Yeah, they've had multiple one-score games in the fourth quarter, whether it is them trying to drive down to tie the game at the end or, a couple turnovers or something kind of go bad in the fourth. But those games have all kind of come down, whether the scorer at the end says it or not. We all know sports, and that's sometimes how it doesn't always look how it seems. So, these Bobcats have a lot of fight in them. This is a very young Bobcat team. Going to be a lot of younger kids on this team. Minico didn't have a lot of returning starters, but again, they had a lot of. They're filling those roles with seniors. whereas Burley's going to be filling those roles with a lot of sophomores, a freshman here or there, guys just not with a lot of experience.
Which can sometimes be really good in these rivalry games because they don't have a lot to work off of other than just what they've seen. They haven't lived it. So you hope for a good one tonight. We're going to see an onside kick right away, and that actually is going to be recovered by the Bobcats. I believe it was recovered by the kicker, number 87, Xander Alvey, the junior. What a way to start the river rivalry here in 2025.
Yeah, that's an awesome play. They stacked up. They had their guys kind of in a line. Just folded it, just put it right in the middle. A really tough way to get onto that ball. Again, when you're the underdog and you're not expected to win, coming in, don't pull your punches. Come in, really allow them to give it your all and get those kids motivated.
Yeah, on their own turf as well. What a way to start for the Bobcats. They will start with twins down on the bottom of your screen. In at quarterback is number 5, J.D. Tarbett. He returns from last year, having replaced the starting quarterback last year. About midway through the season, he's in the QB sneaking up the middle. Basically a tush push for a gain of about 3. And it feels like we're just off and rolling, Wyatt.
Yeah, for sure. Again, there's going to be a little bit of glare here early. Sun's setting. We're on the visitor side. But looking right into the sun, again, Burley's going to get in the I formation quite a bit. They're going to try to run the ball, play action off of it, get it to some of their more athletic guys. Marcus Armstrong, really good running back, really athletic kid, going to be one of the better players in the conference.
Yeah, you see Armstrong in the backfield right now in that I formation. Tarbett, like you mentioned, will use play action quite often as well. A good arm on him as he'll hand this one up the middle for a gain of about 1. That was Armstrong on the carry. You mentioned Armstrong is kind of their Mr. Everything on both sides of the ball. Third and about 6 on the scoreboard, it says, so we'll go with them. Tarbett in the shotgun with Armstrong on his side. 4 down territory, I'd have to say, though, so wouldn't be surprised to see Armstrong getting involved. Tarbett's going to roll to his right, though, looking for a receiver, as he does have it. On the completion was Alvey, but he is stood up and brought down by a host of Spartans. First to meet him was number 50, Bodie Baker. Baker, one of the Baker brothers, Kale and Bodie. We will say their names a lot on the defensive side of the ball tonight.
Yeah, if we say Baker, it's basically just, they're one and the same. They're both going to be around the ball, both going to have a lot of tackles, whether they're cleaning up duty or the first guy there. Both of them are really, really just nose to the football.
They are basically what Coach Sherm Blaser would describe as their program. They are exactly what you want in your program, and they'll make a big impact tonight. 4th down and about 3 to go for the Bobcats. Motioning is Armstrong to the left. He's going to look that way, and it's actually a middle screen, which is a great play call. First down all the way down to the 22-yard line. I believe on the reception was number 22, Quentin Alvarado. Love the play call there, Wyatt.
Yeah, really great play call. Again, a little bit of eye candy, right? Moving Marcus out of the backfield, forcing the linebacker to kind of shift with him. JD did a really good job peeling back, making those defenders come at him, and then just dumping it right over the top. Lineman getting out, getting downfield, getting a block or two. Really important first down to keep this drive going. Again, they want to bleed the clock. They want to hold the ball. They want to keep Minico's offense on the sideline.
Yeah, Coach Blaser for Minico mentioned that he wanted his team to be the most physical tonight. And so far, it's been in favor of the Bobcats as they'll hand it off to Armstrong at the middle as he's going to get a little bit of space. Gain of about 4 on the play. And I'm impressed thus far by the offensive line of the Bobcats.
Yeah, they're, they're a simple kind of reach play. Everyone's kind of down blocking on the one side, telling that running back, point yourself right at that left tackle, get off tackle, get there as quick as you can. Again, you're getting, boom, there's 5 yards in a single pop. You're in second in medium, manageable second down. You got 4 down territory down here.
Yeah, in years past, Coach Cameron Anderson for Burley has been running a very up-tempo use his playmakers offense this year, slowing it down a little bit based on his personnel. But it is working to the Bobcats' advantage right here as they'll set up shop on second down. Armstrong with the handoff up the middle. Gain of 2 or 3, which is not a bad strategy if they can keep the ball and keep these first downs coming. It's going to take a lot of clock on the ball, and like you said, keep the Spartans on the sideline.
Yeah, and they're a little power play. Again, feed it to your best players, right? Get Armstrong the ball. Again, we're going to see this play action, right? We're going to see him roll out left, right. JD can move with the ball. He's got a big arm. He can throw it to the corner of the end zone. Let one of his players kind of go up, get the ball. Look for Cove Thompson to get a look here. Really good slot receiver, shifty, a little bit of a seam, corner, slant, something like that.
Thompson is in the slot on the bottom of your screen. I formation once again. Tarbett will hand off to the fullback, who's going to get a little bit of a push from Armstrong. Not quite to the first down, though. On the carry was Alvarado once again. And that'll set up 4th down, and looks like a 4th down and 3.
Yep, same kind of look as where we were before. Hey, if he would have stayed just a little bit inside, maybe been just a little more patient, he probably would have broke. Sometimes kids get a little excited. They're trying to run outside, get away from defenders. Just a little bit of patience there.
Well, and especially from a fullback. You want to see them put their head down and go up the middle as best as they can, set up a little bit shorter shot. They're going to move back into the I formation after starting out in shotgun. Maybe a little hard count. Yes, they do, and yes, they get him. Great play call. Tarbett doing a good job keeping his guys centered. Looked like the culprit was number 45, Jake Catmull.
Again, it's just get your players into space, keep the ball. Again, we're a few minutes into this drive, right? Getting these kids, keeping them confident. It's going to be really important, though, now to score, right? So you're on the 10-yard line. It's a 1st and goal here, okay? Get a couple of your good plays. I'm looking for maybe a little bit of a rollout again to the right. Get JD to his throwing shoulder, right? Get him out to the right. Get a guy in the flat, guy in the top. See if you can pick one or the other.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of quick passes, just short, but they are going to call a timeout. This is Burley's first timeout. We're going to take it with you, and we'll be back in 60 seconds. Stay with us, folks.
Life can change. Your health insurance should keep up. Things like moving, losing your job or current coverage, or having a baby means you could qualify for new coverage and savings from a tax credit. At Your Health Idaho, you can compare plans and see how much you can save on your monthly premium. Make sure to apply and enroll within 60 days of the change. More coverage, less cost. Only at yourhealthidaho.org. See how much you could save.
Welcome back to Burley High School. Burley taking their first time out. They're going to be 1st and goal. New quarterback in the game, Ty Shirley. First game back from injury after a broken collarbone. He's going to roll to his right. He has Armstrong as a lead blocker, but clearing any chance of a run right there was number 9, River Casey, someone who was mentioned to us by Coach Blauser as one word, I believe, long.
Yeah, really. I mean, he's a tall kid. Again, he did a really good job stretching that play out, right? You want to force that guy to the sideline. He's not gaining any yards going east and west, right? And so the minute he tried to go north and south, he was right there, stretching that out, keeping his outside shoulder free, allowing the blocker to not be able to hook him.
Yeah, Shirley, only a sophomore, someone that Coach Anderson is very excited about in the program. And we will see a lot of him tonight mixed in with Tarbett. Tarbett comes back into the game, though, in I formation. Thompson in the slot right there. We'll see if there's any play action looks towards him, as this will be a fake. Thompson's coming across the formation. He's going to catch him, and that's 6 for Cove Thompson. Ten-yard touchdown from J.D. Tarbett to Cove Thompson.
Yeah, really great play. Really good patience by JD there. I mean, he stood in the pocket. The pocket did a really good job of getting around him, forcing JD. He stepped up a little bit, threw it out to the right. Cove made a good little move.
And they will look swinging gate formation, it looks like. Coming back to do the kicking once again is Alvey. Tarbet on the hold.
Yeah, Alvey with an onside at the first possession, get a catch early.
I believe it was on 4th down, too. And he'll put this one through the uprights. 7-0 in favor of Burley. And that went just about as perfect for Burley as you could have ever hoped for a first possession. Like you said, getting the onside kick, running, I believe it was 11 plays on the drive. And they took nearly 7 minutes off the clock here, putting 7 points on the board to match it.
Yeah, if you're Minico, you're not expected to, hey, the first time I touch the ball, it's going to be 5 minutes into the game, let alone you receive the kick. So really great job. Again, if you're Minico, you're going to come out here and you're going to try to do a really good job of just, all right, let's get back into our game plan. Nothing changes, 7-point game. And again, if you're Burley, keep that momentum, right? You come out, maybe send a couple blitzes, allow the formation to kind of, set up and see, and then go forward.
Something to note, last time they left the middle open, the Spartans did on the kickoff return, and it looks like their coaches and their fans are imploring them to get closer and cover that gap. I saw the ref even looking at them and going, this is the 10-yard spot.
Yeah,
this is the 10-yard spot.
Yeah, they got
just so you know.
2 guys there now. They got basically 6 on that front row.
One of them is one we're going to see at quarterback tonight, Logan Waymont. They want to make sure they do not let that happen again. Tarbet right next to Alvey, maybe as a little bit of an onside kick decoy as well. We'll see if he actually does it. You don't see your starting quarterback right as the caller on kickoff very often. Another onside is this one's going to go into the hands of River Casey. He used all of his height there to make sure he caught that. I think it might have gone out of bounds regardless. But this is actually an old Cameron Anderson trick. When he first came over to Burley, that was something they did almost every game. I remember watching a game that they played at Preston, and they put up, I think it was close to 90 points.
Yeah,
and
82.
they onside kicked every single time throughout the game. And he hasn't pulled that out for a couple of years now, but obviously pulling out all the stops here against Minico as they'll set up shop at their own 47. Coming across the middle, great pass and catch. Braxton Stimson on the catch. Dax Hartley at quarterback. He is known more as the throwing quarterback for the Spartans. They're going to run a little bit of up-tempo here as well. Watch Stimson to be plenty involved tonight.
Yeah, and that was on a freshman corner, number 7. He's going to be a freshman.
Handoff at the middle. I believe this was number 2, Brendan Heward.
There's a couple Hewards out there, Cousins.
And we will say Ethan Heward's name a lot tonight. He's out there as well with the offense.
Sherm Blauser loves the up-tempo offense.
As this is going to be play action, he's going to look deep in the corner. What a attempt there to even get a hand on it was number 7, Jaden Sanders. Sanders, their go-to receiver. They're going to look for a lot of chances to use his speed there. Good play, though, by Armstrong at corner. That's going to be a fun matchup to watch tonight.
Yeah, definitely. Sanders very shifty, very fast. They want to get him on the edge, want to get him in space, get him the ball, let him create. But again, yeah, I love that matchup with him and Armstrong, 2 really good players.
And I wonder if that's the game plan coming in, is putting Armstrong shadowing Sanders as much as possible. This is going to be a handoff up the middle to Heward. As he's going to go all the way for a first down to the 30-yard line. And just a total opposite possession from what we just saw from Burley. Minico only taking 2 plays to get first downs, and they are moving quickly. Trips to the top of your screen, as this will be another handoff to Heward. Heward, plenty of room, though, on the outside if he can get a block, and he does for a gain of about 7 on the play.
Yeah, Spartans seeming to be able to get the edge, right? They're kind of either going just inside or just off the tackle. Those outside backers aren't getting to the hip of that tackle and be able to force him back inside. They're getting to the space.
The Spartans known for running the ball very well. Last year, Preston Sonocranny, the leading rusher in the state, but a much more balanced attack this year. Sanders is going to get loose for a first down and more, all the way to the 6-yard line before he's pushed out by Armstrong.
And that's another way, right? Get your athlete the ball. You throw the ball behind yourself or just right at the line of scrimmage. Good players are going to make good plays.
1st and 10, still enough yardage for another first down. Not goal to go quite yet from the 12. As we're seeing a lot of Dax Hartley, and he is showing why he is out there. Handing the ball off to Heward once again. He's got a good block on the outside from Sanders. Looks like they're going to call him out at the 6, though. I thought he might have gotten a few more yards than that, but maybe I saw a couple different feet down there.
Looks like you get a couple different bodies in there. You got some bigger body, tight end, fullback type bodies coming out. Sanders coming out, Heward coming out. So look for run here.
I can't tell if that was it was a false start. They did bring in Logan Wayment there. He is more of the running quarterback for the Spartans. In these heavy sets that are close to the goal line, they are going to use him as much as they can. But obviously, to no avail there as they'll back up 5 yards. This will bring them back almost to the original line of scrimmage. 2nd and 9. They're going to stick in that formation, though, as they'll shift now and flip the formation. Wayman rolling to his left. He does have space if he can break one tackle, and he does. Touchdown, Logan Wayman.
Yeah, plenty of Bobcats there to be able to make a tackle. Just none of them were able to wrap up. Kind of looking down, trying to make that instead of seeing with your eyes, seeing what you're hitting.
I think if it's up to Logan Wayman, that's not too bad of a drive. You only have to run one play, and you get kind of the glory for the drive after all that Hartley did throughout the possession. Great teamwork by the two of them in this 2 QB system. PAT is up and good. 7-7 as after Burley took nearly 7 minutes off the clock, only 2 minutes off the clock that time for the Spartans, as they want to change this game to their pace after that long, methodical drive by Burley. We will see how the Bobcats respond when we come back right after this on IdahoSports.com.
Once again, we have contributed to your ideal college savings program. Love, Grandma and Grandpa.
Ideal. Eventually, they'll appreciate it.
Awesome. Thank you. I love it.
College costs money.
Welcome back on IdahoSports.com. We have a 7-7 ball game in the River Rivalry. Only 7 miles apart between Burley and Minico High School. Guys that have played against each other for many, many years. Good kickoff here as that's going to go all the way to the end zone. Good kick by number 44, Will Kofer. Much different kicking strategy than what we saw from Alvey. More of a toe punch, but that's one of the best toe punches I've ever seen.
See, and I love it because then you see him and he's going to go down and get right in front of the center. He plays nose.
That's right.
It's just, hey, you're a big, strong kid. Go kick the ball.
And I'm sure that's something that he's been doing for many years too. And if not, if this is his first year, who cares? Do it right. 1st and 10 from the 20 will be the Bobcats.
Curious to see how they start with, field possession. They're not on the other side of the 50 now, so they're going to have a much, they got to, if it took them 7 minutes to get 50 yards, let's see if they can sustain a drive for that much longer.
And they converted 2 fourth downs last time as well. Can't do that this deep in their territory, although Cameron Anderson has done that many times over the years. As this will be another QB sneak. Tarbet's going to actually go for nearly a first down. We'll see if they give it to him. I think it's going to be just about a yard short. So starting the drive the exact same as last time, but this time getting 9 yards rather than 3.
Yeah, and both those linebackers shot up, so once he got past that first little bit of the line, it was only the safety. The safety was the one that had to make the tackle. So,
and they are going to give him the first down. Kind of a late call there. You don't see a QB sneak untouched for 10 yards first down very often.
Yeah. Hey, but again, a way to start the drive and get the kids, understanding how it's going to look.
Yeah, shout out the big center in the middle, DeMarcus Daly, who definitely formed a way for Tarbet there. We're going to see a false start, though, back him up 5 yards. Not something that Burley can afford to do tonight against the Spartans.
Yeah, definitely want to keep all their plays in consistency, right? Want to stay You get from 1st to 10 to 2nd and 5 to 3rd and short.
Back in that I formation, twins to the top. As it'll be a handoff to the fullback, but he's going to be doubled up on. Number 44, Will Kofer, and number 45, Jack Catmull. They made sure that that fullback dive went nowhere.
Yeah, showing up, really just when you kind of give that quick fullback dive, you're kind of expecting that nose to just get upfield, run past him. He did not run past him there. He ran through him.
And, I mean, that is, I believe, the 3rd time they've ran that dive. Obviously worked a little bit better for them the last few times. I'm sure it's another play they'll come back plenty throughout tonight.
Yeah, probably going to look to see him open up the pass game a little bit.
Yeah, 2nd and 14. Tarbett in the shotgun with Armstrong at his side. He's going to drop back and look left and deep. Kind of got hit on the arm, and that's actually going to be, I think it's going to be pass interference on the defense, it looks like. The underthrown ball, you see that sometimes with defensive pass interference.
Yeah, it's so much harder. You're in the right position, but then you're just, I don't think he ever really turned around. The offensive player even had a chance to catch the ball. That was Shirley there. I mean, he had the ball in his hands, but he was kind of falling back after getting pushed.
Yeah, and Tarbett looked like he got his arm hit just a little bit. He did, I believe Shirley did have a step on the defender. It would have been interesting to see what happened if Tarbett was able to get his full arm into it. It's not going to be a first down, though.
Yeah, always kind of interesting in, high school football. Not an automatic first down. You were so far back that it's still, okay, well, we're 2nd and short. But again, getting to the manageable, right?
Yep.
2nd and short, 3rd and shorts. Again, the whole playbook's open right here. You can run any play. Look for a play action maybe here.
I formation. Doubles to the bottom of your screen. Thompson's there in the slot, someone to watch for. As they'll hand off to the side, actually. Was supposed to be up the middle, it looks like. And instead, it's going to be blown up by Catmull again, I believe.
Yeah, Slade Page in there in the tackle as well. I mean, just shot through there like a cannon. That's all you can ask for your linebackers. Again, everyone's just kind of reach blocking. All the linemen are stepping to the right, and he found a gap, right? Somebody didn't step quite far enough or maybe stepped too far and created a little bit of a hole. You find that hole as a backside linebacker, and you fill it.
Yeah, Slade Page, the junior, someone I remember calling his name plenty in garbage time last year of this game. So obviously itching to get out there and doing a good job there as he's going to be lined up against Armstrong in the slot as they'll go empty. They're going to move him back to safety actually at this point. And it's going to be a draw up the middle, but it does not fool the Spartans as this will be 4th down after what essentially was 2nd and inches. It is now going to be 4th and 5 and a decision to make for Coach Anderson early in this one with
I'm going to see
16 left in the first quarter.
I could see them coming up and freeze counting here. There's 10 seconds left in the quarter. They might try to get a couple free yards here. No play called.
And they were able to draw him off sides last time.
There goes the clock.
And that'll end the first quarter here at Burley High School with a score of 7-7. Stay with us for the rest of this first half here on IdahoSports.com.
Help dreams come true with the Ideal 529 Education Savings Program. Our easy-to-use tools make it simple to plan for your child's education. With tax benefits and ownership flexibility, Ideal is the perfect way to save for college, trade school, apprenticeships, K-12 education, and student loan repayment nationwide. Join us at our next webinar to learn more about the 529 plan. Enrolling takes just 15 minutes, and you can start with just $25. Visit idsaves.org to learn more.
So, what's next? Your path doesn't have to look like theirs. You can do this, or this, or this. Check out in-demand jobs in Idaho and get up to $8,000 to find your thing.
Welcome back to some second quarter action here on IdahoSports.com. Tarbett in the shotgun, doubles on his side. See if he is the punter from, and it looks like he is going to do a little bit of a pooch kick here. A little more than a pooch kick, though, as he gets plenty of leg into this one, as it's going to roll all the way down on this turf to the just about the 14-yard line. Great punt by J.D. Tarbett there to set up his defense in good position as the Spartans offense will come back on the field after only a 2-minute drive that they went about 50 yards in, I mean, I don't have the plays in front of me, about 7 plays, we'll say.
Yeah, and a lot of run in there. I think they only, the passing plays that were big were really just screen passes that the receivers took for a lot of yards.
Looks like Hartley is going to be out there once again to start the possession. Wayment got the touchdown. Hartley will be joined by Heward in the shotgun as he'll look to his left, and he's going to get Ethan Heward for a gain of about 5, we'll say. First time we've called Heward's name, but someone that really has been a staple of this Minico Spartan program for the last several years. Hurry up offense again. Heward will motion over to the right side. Rolling to his right is Hartley, and he's going to look into the second level. Great, almost a good catch, but dropped by Jaden Sanders. Thought he was going to have that one.
Yeah, and following right behind him again, Marcus Armstrong. I think that, we talked about maybe that's the game plan. I think it's pretty safe to say that now. Again, hey, we're going to try to take away your best player, put it in a difficult position, force the quarterback to make a perfect throw. And again, here we are in a third down. A big stop here would be important for the Bobcats to stay in this game.
Minico, again, not known for throwing the ball the last several years. 3 straight pass plays to Heward once again. I think he's going to have enough for the first down there. It's going to be close. We'll see where the spot is. And they are going to give it to him. First down, Minico. Again, 3 straight pass plays inside your own 15 is gutsy.
Yep. Moving the ball forward. I expect to see a little bit of run, a heavy dose of run here.
Both Hewards in the backfield with Hartley. Doubles to the bottom. And this will go to Heward on the sweep. Looks like it's going to be a gain of 2 or 3. Brendan Heward on the carry. I guess I should clarify if they're both back there. Second and 6 for the Spartans. And I think almost about as much time as they took on their first possession is off the clock now here in the second quarter. Toning it back just a little bit, but obviously no home run plays yet like they had in the first possession. It's going to be a fake screen, it looks like, and that's going to be, I thought it was picked, but instead, great catch by Raxon Stimson. I thought that Dylan Lobu had a pick there.
Yeah, again, he's the freshman that we've talked about that's going to play a lot of minutes. That's a really tough play. I mean, he's in that position. Props to Raxon for that catch.
Yeah, Stimson, he's been one of their best basketball players, but showing his talent in the gridiron today. This is going to come back from a hold, I believe. I think it was number 75, Gavin Mon.
Yeah, he held Jake Pratt. Jake Pratt, 23. They label him as the quarterback of their defense. Again, sophomore, okay? So we see a couple of these guys. We got a freshman, a sophomore, and they're putting big roles on them. They're saying, hey, we trust you out here on an island. Hey, we need you to set up our defense. Look for these Bobcats to be really good here in the coming years. Yeah, and they've had spurts where the program has really excelled, and then an injury or two has derailed them. Is this going to be a handoff to Heward with room to spare? He's going to find his way for a first down and more. A little bit of disdain from the Spartan faithful over here on our side. Yeah, I think they felt like he tackled him a little bit too much out of bounds. It's hard. You're sitting there, you're just tackling the guy. You don't even know where you're at on the field. You're just trying to get that guy to the ground. And it looked like there was another Bobcat on the side too, and that might have added to it a little bit as well. Nonetheless, second down. Another good run from Heward.
as that'll be another first down.
And Jake Pratt there to make the tackle. He shot through there on that right side just a little bit too quick. Tried to tackle him up by the shoulder pads. He was able to shrug that off, keep going. Kind of like a greased pig, just running right through.
And again, only a sophomore. Lots of time for Pratt to develop, but he's already showing his worth out there on the Bobcats defense. A little bit of a hard count and look to the sideline for Hartley and company. First down at the 50 as we are just getting started here in the second quarter. Sanders up top. As this will be another handoff to Ewert. 3 in a row as he completely ran over number 33, Chucky Olivas, but he was like, no, I'm still going to bring you down even in this process. Gain of 8, quick plays. They're not going to get everyone off, or the Bobcats. I think Coach Anderson got a timeout, though, just in time. We'll take this opportunity to thank some of our power boosters here on IdahoSports.com.
Yeah, we'd love to thank these power boosters supporting Minico, Brewster Cheese, Vitaglow Idaho, The Roof Resource, Minidoka Memorial Hospital, and supporting Burley, The Roof Resource, AMI Supply, Minidoka Memorial Hospital, Impact Athletics, Vitaglow Idaho, and Fibercom. Big thanks to our power boosters.
Yeah, always grateful for the power boosters and your support to these schools. And as we go through the second quarter, I'm looking at the clock. It's a little ways away from me, so I'm sorry for the delay, but 9:17 left here in the second quarter. First quarter absolutely flew by. Only 3 possessions in the first quarter, and one of those was a 2-minute Minico possession for a touchdown. It feels like at this point it's really anybody's ballgame, and I can tell you from doing this game the last several years, it hasn't felt that way. Last year, Minico up 49-0 at halftime. And I've been really impressed with what Burley's been able to do tonight thus far.
Yeah, for sure. I think maybe getting into that bend, don't break kind of a defense here.
Hartley in the shotgun, joined by Heward. He has had 3 straight runs for the Spartans. But they're going to look a little bit of a fake screen, and this is to Ethan Heward, but unable to come up with the ball. Great coverage by the freshman, LeBou.
Yeah, did a little bit of a screen and go there, right? Show that quick screen. They've ran that screen a few times now, and then that first guy runs up like he's going to block, goes for the long ball. Really good coverage there. I think they wanted fans wanted a PI, but I felt like he kind of turned. He's got a right to that ball as well.
Yep.
I'm a defensive guy. I want the defense. Offense always gets a call.
And Heward came back a little bit for it as well. Handoff is going to be Sanders. First time we've seen him carry the ball, but that's going to be a good wrap-up. On the tackle was number 1, Peyton Coates, the junior, and he held on for dear life. That is a great play there on third down.
Yeah, came all the way from his safety spot. I was moving the camera, and all of a sudden the flash came flying through, and he just grabbed that ankle. Good job rallying to the ball, right? That first guy's not always going to make that tackle. Someone's got to come in and clean it up.
And instead of what you would have expected to be 4-down territory, because of the loss, the Spartans will punt. Back to punt is number 9, River Casey.
A little bit of confusion
doing it all
for their formation coming in on the Spartan side.
Casey with time to punt. He's going to get no return for Burley, and it's going to bounce out of the 22. I think with no returner there, you would have liked to see him put a little bit more in the middle of the field.
Yeah, you kind of, if you put that ball even in the end zone, you get it on the 20. Here we got it on the 20 as well. But a good one of those punts that kind of hits that sideline, bumps right out. So
well, and I mean, you never know on turf, where a lot of high schools in Idaho, I mean, we see it more in 6A now a little bit more, but in 5A, it's not even half and half of which teams have turf, which ones don't have turf. Over at Minico, no turf. When you're on turf, you almost expect it to roll a little bit more instead of just bouncing sideways, so maybe a little bit of an angled kick there by Casey. Regardless, they'll set up shop at the 22, will the Bobcats, with Tarbett in I formation. Taking plenty of time, checking at the line, it looks like. Seen him do that play call a couple times where he's thrown his hands up. Toss right to Armstrong. Almost got a block on the outside. Slade Page unable to come with the tackle, but Casey there to clean up the mess, as that'll be a loss of about 2 on the play.
Yeah, they Minico shifted into a kind of a TNT front. Both those ends shifted right in. I think they were expecting kind of that QB sneak, right? Because that's how the first 2 possessions have shifted. And then, but JD looks to the sideline, gets a call. They go for a pitch on the outside to kind of combat that, but receiver didn't get the block. And if the receiver doesn't get the block, there's basically a free line to the running back.
And that's really all it was, because Casey was a little bit late getting to him. Page did just enough to bring down Armstrong before Casey came. Single back here. First time we've seen this formation from the Bobcats, as Tarbett will fake the handoff. He's got room to spare. I think, big hit. Oh, they're going to get him with a high hit, I think. On the tackle, I think was number...
I think that's 54, Cale Baker.
And I think what they're going to, maybe a high hit on the quarterback. Honestly, I wasn't sure. It looked like it wasn't late necessarily. I think they might talk about it. I honestly wouldn't be surprised to see them pick up the flag here.
Yeah.
It was close to the sideline, but not quite, I don't think.
Yep, they're going to call targeting,
okay.
Which he definitely was still in bounds, but he did come a little high.
And there was no wrap-up either.
It's hard to see that, and the quarterback has his shot, those are tough calls. And again, we're going to be under the Minico side, so if you're going to hear some boos, there's a lot of people wearing red right now that don't like that.
A lot of Burley offensive linemen waving at the Minico Spartan fans, trying to call them off right there as well. You see the rivalry in action firsthand here. I think one thing that Tarbett really wanted on that play was he looked to Cove Thompson. I think he wanted him to do something. He kind of just stood there and waited. Maybe could have filled the gap on Baker there. But Tarbett, as a result, he's still in the game, so that's good. After targeting, you never know what could happen. Tarbett's still in the game, though, as he'll hand this one off up the middle, but nowhere to go.
Yeah,
on the tackle was Catmull and company.
Yeah, gotta block the nose. Again, this is the second or third time. I think they're just a little bit too quick, maybe to get up to the backer, trying to find that next guy. Again, when you got the Baker brothers in there at linebacker, I'm sure they've been told all week, hey, you got to block this backer. But again, got to block the guy that's going to be closest to the play first.
And to my knowledge, Minico is one of the only teams in the state that runs a 3-3 stack. And with that blocking assignments are a little bit different because you're used to having either another linebacker on the outside. You're not used to having a 3 set. And so the nose guard and the middle linebacker both making the tackle several times tonight is maybe, like you said, the communication a little bit off up the middle. Trips to the top of your screen. Fake to the right as he's going to look to the side. Oh, good catch, though. Was number 22. Alvarado, but they might... We'll see what the flag's going to be. Alvarado had a couple different Spartans that were punching at the ball. As they're going to go helmet-to-helmet block, I believe. As I saw the hands come together from the ref. He's turned the other way, so we can't see the official look, but it looks like it's going to be 15 yards back, so I wonder if it was just a helmet-to-helmet block. He didn't do targeting.
Yeah, but he's facing away from us. It's a little hard to see. I'm going to assume, especially with it being 15 yards back, that's got to be what it is.
And I wonder if that's one of those that the last call was 50-50, and you kind of have to give it 50-50 the other way as well.
Yeah, really, though, a disappointing play for Burley. That was a good play, good catch. Again, got to build off these plays, got to have that momentum.
Yeah, and Baker almost knocked the ball down. That was a good catch by Alvarado. Nonetheless, doubles both ways. Tarbett going to fake, and he's going to just throw this one away. Looking deep for his receiver, Leo Nava, though. Or correction, looking deep for his receiver, Dax Palmer. Oh, hold on. These numbers are different. Crew Thompson, there we go. Crew Thompson.
And I think
that's grade first before number.
I'm pretty sure that's the little brother of Cove Thompson. Again, I'm looking for Cove here. I'm looking for something up the sideline. But again, if you're JD, let's keep the ball maybe out of the middle of the field, somewhere where it could get picked. Let's live to see another play. If anything, we're punting. We're getting them down on the other side of the 50.
Yeah, Tarbett had a great punt last time, too. You just want to set yourself up for success where it is only a 7-7 ball game. doubles both directions. Motioning is Thompson. They're going to look his way and go back to the middle for a screen, but nowhere to go, though, so Tarvert's going to have to run for this. As this time he evades Baker right before he hits him out of bounds, minimizing the damage that could have been on the play, gaining 3 and setting up for 4th down and 15 from their own 40.
Yeah, a good job by JD. Again, not putting the ball in harm's way, trying to throw the ball. Had a guy right in his face as he turned around for that screen. Just rolling out, using his athleticism, just get the ball away.
And the Minico defense on the season, it's a little bit skewed because of their loss to Bishop Kelly when they gave up 62 points, but they really always are a great defense and teams that you can't make mistakes against, can't turn the ball over against as well. Tarbert, hard count, but no jumpers that time. Armstrong's going to switch sides. Tarbert's going to back up just a hair as he's going to kick this one away. This is going to be a little bit more of an end over end, which works really well if they can get there. Thompson rushing for his life, but unable to get there, as that'll be a touchback. Great attempt by Cove Thompson, though. You have to give that to him. Oh, they are going to give it to him.
I wonder, is it first touch, or how does that? I guess I'm yep, there we go. There's the touchback assist there.
I was going to say, because he rolled it. If you roll your body in the end zone at all, from my knowledge, that would be a touchback. The Minico faithful being sure that the ref knows the rule.
Well, and again, reffing is hard. I think.
Oh man!
But again, there you see the refs come together. They get the right call. I think 9 times out of 10, that call is going to be the right call. I think it's really a good thing that they get together and they can talk and they say, hey, this is what I saw. This is that. Oh yeah, yep, totally. So good job by the refs there.
Absolutely. This is going to be Wayment. First time we've seen him since his touchdown carry, and he's going to go for about 6 on the carry. Good blocking up front by the Spartan offensive line.
Once again, I think the Bobcats are in there. I mean, Hope was in there, 45, in there to make the tackle. Just got to finish. If they can get a couple of those, they get them behind the sticks.
Yeah, one of the goals tonight for Burley was to tackle. Got to tackle, as this will go to Heward for a first down. Wayman throwing his first pass to the ball game. I think we've only seen, it's either 4 or 5 passes from Hartley. First time we've seen Wayman throw the ball around, and it'll be for a first down. It feels like we've just been saying the Heward boys' names around the block, running the ball or receiving the ball as well.
Yeah, and looking to see Stimson. Again, out here on the outside, he's caught a couple of those slants. Look for him to get involved.
Jet sweep to Sanders as he's got a block. He's got a few extra yards to spare as well as he goes along the sideline, cuts back. He did fumble the ball, but I think they're going to call him down regardless. Great run by Jaden Sanders all the way down to the 32-yard line. And I really got to shout out Raxton Stimson. Great downfield blocking.
Yeah, really good job. Man, he is fast. You can see him running the ball. He is going as fast as he can.
Heward's going to take the carry. He does have 2 blockers on the outside. And they are going to catch one of them, I think. I didn't see a hold, but I wonder if it's an illegal formation based on where he threw the flag. Didn't see it until later, but they are going to call a hold.
It's always hard when the running back starts inside, jumps outside. You're just trying to block, right? You know the play's supposed to go inside of you. All of a sudden, that guy's trying to go outside. You see it, and that jersey tugs, and you get a holding call on you.
And I think it was on Briggs Blaser up top, the sophomore. Again, like you said, he's the very farthest away receiver, and literally you'll see them line up 70 yards from the play essentially, so none of that happens. Obviously in varsity football you'll see it a little bit different. Option left. Wayman's going to keep this one as he cuts up the middle with a great hit. Puts his shoulder down and gets it back to second and manageable. Hurry up offense once again. Handoff up the middle to Heward. This is Brendan Heward. He's got room to spare. This is going to be a touchdown. Great run by Brendan Heward. 25-yard touchdown run. And great blocking up front once again by the Spartan offensive line.
Yeah, really excited there. I mean, after the refs spotted that ball to them snapping it and running, I mean, that was 3-4 seconds. I mean, they had a play in mind already before that. I mean, that ref had just come in and set the ball, and it was, boom, they were in.
That actually was the trend that they did with Wayman. They would do either a pass play or almost like a jet sweep type play, and then they would go to the handoff up the middle to Hewitt. I think they did it 3 different times throughout that possession. Looks like a little bit of confusion on the PAT, though, as they will call a timeout. Not many times you see a timeout on the PAT. Regardless, though, we are grateful for you joining us tonight here on IdahoSports.com. You can also make the memories last a lifetime by owning the digital file of this game for just $15. Just click the Download Archives button to order yours. You can also join Idaho Sports Nation on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. We have plenty of prepcasts, and you can get updates, breaking news, pictures, and more. And just to talk a little bit more about our prepcasts, Wyatt is featured on our prepcasts all over the state of Idaho often, and especially here in the Magic Valley. Our resident experts like Wyatt and others talk about what's going on in the part of the state that you live in. Be sure to catch the next regional prepcast each week on IdahoSports.com or by downloading the new episodes wherever you get your podcasts. PAT attempt is going to be, I almost thought I heard a whistle before, but I guess regardless they're going to count it. 14-7 in favor of the Spartans, as that felt a little bit like a very different possession from the first, and yet it still ended the same way, where they really started to pick it up after they crossed the 50. They, like you said, they were just steamrolling every single time the line or the ball marker on the sideline. He was just rushing up to get his spot down before the snap happened.
The guy marking the ball or the chain crew is getting on their workout today, that's for sure. Again, I think the biggest thing there was Minico was able to sustain multiple big plays. They're getting quite a few penalties on them, whether it's offensive or defensively. They're getting behind the sticks, but then the next play, they're 15 yards. They're right back into second and manageable. And when you get into that, your playbook's open.
That's a great point.
They really need Burley needs to keep them behind the sticks, keep them behind third and longs. Then they can really pin their ears back.
And that's also what killed Burley last possession offensively, a couple holdings, as they'll take this one. This is returnable. Cove Thompson on the return. And a big hit once again by number 54, Cale Baker. He has not had a lot of opportunities to unload, but every single time he has tonight, it has been a massive hit.
Well, I mean, when you look on the sideline and you see the guy with the cowboy collar, you just know that that's the guy that's going to come down and come down.
And why are they always number 54?
It's true.
Teddy Bruschi, I guess.
they don't worry about having some fancy single-digit number. You know, they're not fighting in line. They're like, hey, give me a number. I'm here to play football.
I don't need to play offense at all.
Yeah.
If I do, you can put me in the backfield as a fullback, and I'll hit somebody. And Thompson stays out there. Kudos to him. He's over on the top of your screen. Doubles, once again, are the Bobcats. Armstrong in the backfield with Tarbett. Tarbett's going to catch his receiver up the middle. Great pass on the slant. Looks like slants all the way around. This one to number 8, Ty Shirley.
And Ty Shirley, a sophomore, he rotates in a little bit at quarterback, broke his collarbone over the summer. This is his first game of football this year. So they're excited to have him back, rotate in on offense.
Somebody they see as a staple of the program moving forward. Armstrong's going to get kind of brought around the neck, but it wasn't enough to call a horse collar. On the tackle, once again, was the nose guard, Will Kofer. First man to make contact all throughout this night, it feels like.
Yeah, and if I'm the Bobcats, I'm looking to bleed this clock. There's under 4 minutes left now. If you can make this the last possession of the half, if you're going in at 14-7, that's a good deal. You get the ball coming out of halftime.
Absolutely.
Double up your possessions here. You want to bleed this clock, and it looks like they're staking in that huddle, just bleeding that clock.
I mean, Minico's only had 3 possessions in this game, and there's been no turnovers, other than, unless you count an onside kick, I guess. Tarbett in the shotgun. He's going to motion Armstrong. Fake right once again, as it's going to be, I think it was supposed to be a middle screen, but Tarbett just kind of threw that one away. There wasn't really anyone to throw to. We've seen that play already from them earlier on 4th down, the first possession.
Yeah, that kind of motion away, trying to get their eyes, and maybe look to get to throw to that motion now. You show that motion. Maybe they're like, I'm not going out with it this time. And that's the opportunity you then have to throw it.
The one problem with throwing downfield like you did, you want to throw that in the ground right in front of you, because there wasn't an ineligible man downfield because of where the ball ended up. I think they'll probably take this penalty because it's just going to be a loss of down as well. And they're going to march back. Just 5 yards, though, here in high school on an ineligible man downfield, but it is a loss of down, I believe.
Yeah, and I could see the ref talking to Coach Blauser over there. The down marker had it at 4th down. He's like, oh, I'll take 4th down. And they're like, no, it's 2nd down. He's like, okay, then, yeah, I want the penalty.
Take what you can.
Yeah.
You know, and I say this every year when I do a Minico game, but, man, I am so glad that those numbers are not gold. Because growing up, whenever we would play Minico, they would be in gold, and we'd be watching on film, and we'd be trying to figure out who it was that we were trying to do assignments against. And those gold numbers were so hard to tell who everybody was.
So you just showed up and you're like, you're about the size of the guy they told me about.
Like I thought you were 18, but it's 81. Like man. 7s and 1s, those were always really hard. Doubles once again. Armstrong in the backfield next to Tarbett. I thought they'd maybe get a false start. Good throw, just a little bit behind number 80. Abraham Morgan, though.
Yeah, and I like what Burley's trying to do. They've shown a heavy dose of run. Now they're trying to get a little bit of play action. Force those linebackers to step up because you show the ball, the running back coming across and in front of it. Force them to step up, and then you run a slant or a deep post kind of behind them. But again, you get into this Burley, you're in 3rd and long here. The playbook tightens up a little bit. I would look for maybe a little bit of a rollout, maybe coming out right here, looking for maybe a trade route, something like that. Free up one of your players, see if you can get a one-on-one.
We've actually, if I'm not mistaken, other than the touchdown throw, I don't think there's been a target for Cove Thompson.
I think you're right.
And he is at the top of the screen right here. We'll see if that's where Tarbett goes as he drop back the pass. He's going to look right up the middle too. Great play by, I think that was, it was Shirley again. Shirley, 2 great catches here.
Yeah, what a great catch. He got stuck right there in his hip. I mean, that was a tough play. Good throw by JD. Again, he's willing to put it there kind of across the middle, forcing them to step up. Again, if you can get some of these completions, that's what's going to open up your run game, right? At first we were like, hey, maybe you open up the run game will open up your pass. Maybe it's kind of reverse now, right? We're going to force you to see us complete some balls down the field. Now you're going to be backpedaling or late to the party stepping up.
Well, and especially with how well the Bobcats started, kind of shocking Minico and getting the ball. They did all those run plays. They did quick middle screens and a lot of slants. Again, Cove Thompson kind of being a decoy there for Shirley as well in the slot, something I'm sure we'll see plenty more throughout the night. Armstrong with his first carry in quite a while. Guess who? Gopher up the middle, disrupting the running game of Armstrong once again.
Yeah, talking with a couple of the defensive coaches before the game for Minico, they were like, hey, watch, you see 44 here, kind of nonchalant. Nobody can block him. And I was like, oh, okay, and they were like, even BK had a hard time blocking him. I'm like, oh, yeah. You love him.
That's great.
I'll tell you what, no one's blocked him yet.
No.
If they got running, it's outside of him. Don't run at 44.
That's right, and that's really going to change the game. If they can't block him, they can't run the ball. Empty set, as this will be to Armstrong. They find a different way to get the ball to him, which is very well needed for the Bobcats. It's going to be 3rd and 7 from the 35-yard line. 1:48 on the clock. I almost thought maybe Minico would take a timeout right there. Still 2 timeouts in their pocket.
Burley's probably happy he was tackled inbounds, right? You got 2 plays here. You can bleed the clock under a minute here by the time you get to your next play. So a really important thing. I think you got any play right here. You can run the ball. You can pass the ball. You got 2 downs.
Trips to the right for Tarbett. Thompson up top alone. Or correct, yeah. Yep, Thompson up top alone. Little one-on-one, it looks like. Armstrong's going to motion to his left. They're going to see Thompson. Great catch by Thompson. I don't think he quite got the first down, though. It will be 4th and short. And decision time for Coach Anderson. Are they going to go quick, which they are?
Yep, watch them freeze count here. Then they'll look to the coach, see if they can get a play.
We've seen some good QB sneaks so far from Tarbett, too. Maybe see if he goes up to the line after this. I love when the coach just yells the play. He doesn't even need to use hand signals, nothing. Another hard count.
Watch him.
Timeout.
He'll bleed this clock down. Yep, get the timeout.
with 36 seconds left here in the second quarter. 14-7 in favor of the Spartans. We'll take a quick break before we see the end of this second quarter. Stay with us, folks.
When it's time to get health insurance, Your Health Idaho is the place to go. It's Idaho's health insurance marketplace where you can shop and compare plans from well-known insurance companies and lower your monthly premium with a tax credit you can't get anywhere else. Plus, certified local agents can find you the right plan for free. More coverage, less cost. Only at yourhealthidaho.org. See how much you could save.
Once again, we have contributed to your ideal college savings program. Love, Grandma and Grandpa.
Ideal. Eventually, they'll appreciate it.
Awesome. Thank you. I love it.
College costs money.
Welcome back. 36 seconds here in the second quarter. Packed house here tonight at Burley High School. Beautiful sunset as well as we near the end of the second quarter. 4th and 1 for the Bobcats after taking a timeout. Trips to the bottom. Gonna motion Armstrong and look his way. Good catch by Armstrong. Great throw by Tarbert once again for a first down. No timeouts left, I believe, for the Bobcats, as they're going to have to hurry up on this one. 30 seconds left and counting. Tarbert goes to the line. Under center, spikes the ball. And what a dot by Tarbert there.
Yeah, he's had a couple of those. He's putting that ball in a line. There's no chance for, if you're late to the party, to try to cover him. Again, wheeling him out. Cove, who had just caught that pass, runs like kind of a stick, a hitch right inside, forces the corner to come up, throw it right behind him.
And the first time they've thrown to Armstrong after motioning him as well. Again, using Thompson as a little bit of a decoy. I see Shirley out there right now as well. They've looked his direction a couple times whenever he's been on the field.
Yep, lining up on this side. Maybe, again, looking for something kind of rolling out this way. They rolled out right to score their first touchdown.
From the 20, 2nd and 10. Motion left for Armstrong again. Wanted Shirley. He is open in the middle, but he doesn't see him. Almost a good catch, but no avail on the coverage for Minico as number 13, Coronado.
Yeah, Ty Shirley kind of standing up there, jumping up and down like, oh, dang, it was there. And he kind of ran that slot post, kind of went from a fade to a post. Number 13 out here for Minico, Vince, he's a little bit of a shorter player. So, again, maybe looking to get a little bit taller of a player, throw a jump ball. You got 17 seconds left here. Still enough time to put the ball in the middle and get a spike, but probably looking to try to get towards the end zone as close as you can on any of these plays.
Trips again to the bottom. They've kind of stuck in this formation throughout this entire quarter. He does have a man to the side, which was Alvarado, I believe. It was. Alvarado, I don't think I've mentioned this, also a sophomore. He is huge.
He's a big kid. He is a big kid. He also is on the D-line, goes kind of both ways. But, again, yeah, a big, strong sophomore.
And this team littered with sophomores. We've said several different, I think that's 3 or 4 that have played key parts of this Burley offense especially, but also the defense we've seen some as well.
And if you look at their freshman and JV rosters, their JV has a lot of freshmen on it. Really good athletic kids in these younger grades.
This has kind of been Ty Shirley time here.
Yeah,
he is up top alone.
Armstrong over here in the slot as well. Cove and Armstrong next to each other.
He's going to look right. And he's going to find Armstrong. He had Armstrong wide open across the middle. But just a little bit behind him, as that'll be a turnover on downs with 10 seconds left here. I wouldn't think Minico would try to do anything before the half, but what an absolutely gut-wrenching way to end what has been such a good half for the Bobcats.
Yeah, either way, I think as long as these plays right here don't turn into anything, a really positive first half for them, for the Bobcats.
Yeah, I'm excited to kind of digest it all throughout the half. We'll do that on the halftime show here on IdahoSports.com. Run up the middle for Wayman, as this will likely be the last play of the half. He's going to gain about 9. And that will take us to half as we hear the buzzer. Exciting one here in the rival rivalry. The battle for the Golden Oar. 21-0 were the Spartans in the last 21 years coming in. And they have a game on their hands for the first time in a few years as they lead 14-7. Stay with us here for the halftime show on IdahoSports.com. We'll be back with a little bit of a summary for the first half as well as keys to look for in the second half. Stay with us here on IdahoSports.com.
Vaping sucks you in quick, and the more you vape, the harder it is to quit. Not to mention all the chemicals and health problems. That's why thousands of teens are joining My Life, My Quit. Visit mylifemyquit.com or text Start My Quit to 36072.
As Idahoans, we're not afraid to take risks.
All the way, all the way. Go. All the way down, all the way down.
Driving under the influence is not a risk we're willing to take. Be around to do more of what you love.
So, what's next? Your path doesn't have to look like theirs. You can do this, or this, or this. Check out in-demand jobs in Idaho and get up to $8,000 to find your thing.
Help dreams come true with the Ideal 529 Education Savings Program. Our easy-to-use tools make it simple to plan for your child's education. With tax benefits and ownership flexibility, Ideal is the perfect way to save for college, trade school, apprenticeships, K-12 education, and student loan repayment nationwide. Join us at our next webinar to learn more about the 529 plan. Enrolling takes just 15 minutes, and you can start with just $25. Visit idsaves.org to learn more.
At Valleywide Cooperative, we're here when you need us. For 100 years, we have been here to help you with food, fuel, and good old-fashioned advice. And for us, serving is more than a job, it's a way of life, which is why we pour so much into the communities around us. We've employed hundreds of your neighbors. We take pride in that, and in giving back millions in sponsorships, grants, donations, and scholarships. It's our way of saying thanks. We're Valleywide, and yesterday, today, and tomorrow, we're here for you.
We do things differently in Idaho. Sometimes we go east to find west, where muddy trails meet huckleberry smiles. Stars shine electric, and the wind smells like destiny. Sure, our traffic jams are strange, and not all our steaks are ribeyes. But wherever we go, our eyes never leave the road. Belts strapped and dreams packed, no distractions, no phones, focused. From here to there, it's who we are.
We're Valleywide Cooperative. For 100 years, we've been your first choice for residential and commercial propane, fuels, oils, and lubricants. We service HVAC, install water heaters, propane tanks, and accessories. And yes, we'll even deliver right where you need it. Because for us, serving is more than a job, it's a way of life. We are proud to employ your neighbors and to be a cornerstone of your community. We're Valleywide. Yesterday, today, and tomorrow. We're here for you.
Once again, we have contributed to your Ideal College Savings Program. Love, Grandma and Grandpa.
Ideal. Eventually, they'll appreciate it.
Awesome. Thank you. I love it.
College costs money.
Welcome back here on IdahoSports.com as we are here at the half in a great game thus far in the river rivalry. That's such a hard thing to say, river rivalry. Battle for the Golden Oar, which has been in the Minico Spartans' hands for the last 21 years. The last time that Burley won this game was in 2004. How old were you in 2004? Are we the same age?
Yeah, I'm 28. Yeah, okay.
Okay, me too. Yeah.
So yeah, I was what, 7?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
7 years
yeah,
ago.
because it would have been in the fall. Burley won that one 22-13. And since then, it has been a lot of Minico. Last year, like I said, I did the game last year. It was 49-0 at halftime for Minico, and it was running clock basically for the rest of the game. And this one has not been anything like that. Game started off with an onside kick by Xander Alvey. He recovered his own kick. They go down. They had about 11, 12, 13 play drive that took 7 minutes off the clock. And then after that, Minico responded with a 2-minute drive I should have gone back. Cove Thompson scored that touchdown on a pass from Tarbit. And Logan Wayment came in for one play on Minico's first possession, 10-yard touchdown run with 3:13 left in the first. And then we didn't have another score until 4:34 left in the second quarter, which was a 25-yard touchdown run by Brendan Heward. And other than that, it's just been neither team has had bad possessions, but it's just kind of been what you would expect in a rivalry game.
Yeah, a lot of emotion, players getting really excited for plays. Quite a few penalties, I'd say. Most of them preventable. It's holding calls. It's, personal fouls, kind of a targeting. And Burley had their own kind of, helmet, kind of, helmet to helmet
block or something.
Kinda, yeah, we couldn't quite see it from here, but it's a lot of emotion. Really exciting, though. I think both fan bases are really energetic and excited. I think looking back at the keys to the game, over here for Minico, they wanted no turnovers and to be the most physical. I'd say the turnover, I'd probably count that onside kick for as valuable as that has been, because that's how Burley scored. I'll probably put that in the turnover category, not a traditional turnover. But again, I would probably say they've been the most physical, especially on their tackling. The first guy there is making the tackle. The first guy there is wrapping up the ball carrier, where on the Burley side, it's they're not getting as much of a push on the offensive line, and they're sliding off some of those tackles.
Yeah, we've mentioned Will Kofer many, many times throughout the broadcast, and I'm sure we'll continue to mention him. But he has really just been covering every single hole possible. Every time there's a pulling guard, every time the center pulls, it's almost like they have to, their best running play, other than a couple plays from Armstrong early in the game, has been their QB sneak. Yeah. And that's not always great for your running game. We did see them obviously open up the passing game last possession, and Tarbit really a couple good throws. I saw him a couple times last year here on IdahoSports.com, and it was right after Mac Jensen, who was maybe the best quarterback to ever come through Burley High School, had I think it was an ACL injury, if I'm not mistaken, in Preston. And then he played a game against Skyview where Tarbit came in, played a game against Skyview Skyview ended up winning by, I think it was 1 on a field goal at the very end. But there were a couple great throws by Tarbit throughout the game, and I was like, okay, I see a little bit of what he could be throughout what the future can hold. He's a junior, so obviously has a good experience. But tonight I've been really impressed by his arm and especially his accuracy. Did miss one at the end to Armstrong up the middle, but overall he's been putting the balls where he needs to, and there's been no turnovers on either side of the ball as well, like you said. And that's what you have to do if you're him. Manage the game, make sure they take care of the ball, and obviously a big play will come once in a while.
Yeah, and getting into the keys to the game that we saw at the first half for Burley, they wanted to match the physicality, and then they said, gotta tackle, which I think both of those kind of go hand in hand. Like I had said, talking about Minico, Burley's been there for a few tackles, kind of shooting through the gaps, trying to find a spot, and I think that's a good game plan for them. They've got to take chances. They can't pull their punches. You know, the expectation is for them to lose this game by every metric, right? Whether it is, historic or not. I mean, they haven't won a game yet this season. Minico's a top-ranked team. So I think it's valuable for them to, send guys on a blitz, try to shoot some gaps, force them to play up, and force them to try to break off of a tackle. But again, if they can do that, if they can stay on some of those tackles, match the physicality that Minico has, I think they have a chance to be in this ball game. They will get the ball to start the second half. We have not really seen them sustain too much of a drive until here, this last possession. They threw the ball a little bit more. We talked about during that drive, maybe that pass game opens up the run game a little bit for Armstrong, whether it's just allowing the safeties and everybody, the backers, to take a half step before they come up. We'll see if that kind of opens up the run game a little bit.
Yeah, and on Minico's side as well, offensively, it kind of feels like they've been able to do whatever they want, and yet the scoreboard doesn't really reflect that, because Hartley has been pretty good back there. Wayman's done great when he's came in and ran. Brendan Heward, I should say, has broken a couple runs. Ethan Heward has had a couple good catches. Raxton Stimpson's had a couple good catches. Highlighted his blocking down the field as well. The offensive line feels like they've really set the tone, and yet the score's 14-7. So if you're Minico, if you can hold them here, you have a great chance to put yourselves ahead. But only 4 possessions in the first half for Minico as well, because of the way that Burley has really methodically been keeping the ball and convert. Even if they're not getting touchdowns, they're having long drives where they're getting first downs, and they're not going 2 plays first down. It's 3 or 4 downs before they get a first down.
And for as fast as Minico wants to do, when you're starting from your 20 or farther back, it's going to take you a couple minutes just to get down, whether you're going hurry up or not. It's going to take you a little bit to get down the field. So I'm also looking to see if Minico maybe opens up the pass game a little bit. Basically every pass except for a couple to Stimpson have been, he had a couple slants, one early, one late, but everything else has kind of been a bubble screen or a quick. I'm curious to see if they kind of open that up a little bit. They tried to run kind of a screen and go in the second quarter, but I am curious if they can open it up and force and press the middle of the field, maybe on a post or force the safety to come over and cover a corner route, then again, it's just going to open up your run game even more so with Heward.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, I'm as excited as I've been broadcasting a game, I feel like, because I love rivalry games, no matter what the sport is. Even if I'm not invested in it by any means, like when I am invested in a game, I'm a Yankees fan, and I despise the Red Sox, obviously. And when I watch a Yankees-Red Sox game, when the Yankees lose based on something the Red Sox did, it aches me, but also I'm like, I'd rather this than lose 11-0 to them. I like seeing the competition, and I think that's kind of what we're seeing tonight. Just to look at some scores across the state as well, you can see these updated all throughout the night on our Friday Night Flash on IdahoSports.com. In the 5A ranks, a couple other rivalry games going on as well. 5A, 6A crossover, Highland and Pokey. In the second quarter, Highland only up 12-7, and it was 9-7. So maybe 4 field goals. Obviously, I don't have the score sheet in front of me, but 4 field goals against Pokey, which is crazy, especially Pokey not having necessarily as good of a year as they have in the past. Sticking right there with Highland. Shelley and Hillcrest are dotted up 14-14 at the half. Nampa and Skyview 7-7. One other one that really stood out to me, BK only up 6-0 at Columbia.
Yeah, that's kind of an interesting one. Columbia's definitely kind of been a little bit of a dark horse for some of those guys. I think that Conference District 3 has been a little bit stronger than in years past. It's kind of been Valley View and BK, or BK and Emmett. Whereas now you get a couple of those like Emmett, Valley View, Ridgeview, and Columbia. If they're all kind of viable playoff teams, it just makes the state a little bit more interesting.
Yeah, one other game that I'm looking at as I just kind of go through here in the 3A ranks, Declo up 7-0 against Westside at the half. This year it is in Westside. Last year the game was 6-0 in the final score, and they always play each other at state every year. Westside ended up taking the state championship again. They've done it, I believe, 4 of the last 5 years, and who knows however many beyond that. But they've really been Declo's Achilles heel in the playoffs. So the regular season kind of flips back and forth. So good games across the state. You can catch any of those scores on IdahoSports.com. We also have plenty other game streams throughout the docket tonight and throughout the season as well. Love having you here on IdahoSports.com. We'll take a little bit of a break here as we close the end of the halftime show. We'll do so with our top plays from last week here on our broadcast of IdahoSports.com. Stay with us for second half action after this.
Down looking to blitz. And Sweetwood's going to take it himself. He's going to break one tackle. Second tier speed. And Sweetwood's going to break that all the way for a Hillcrest touchdown. Big pass. Open receiver. He's got him. Skyline.
Throw it to Cornell. It's going to be a wide receiver pass. Has a man. It's caught at the 30, the 20, the 10, the 5. Into the end zone for the Pocatello touchdown. Sales at IdahoSports.com. Buck out of the timeout. Delivers a strike to Yarbrough. Inside the 20, inside the 10, into the end zone. Touchdown, Sandpoint.
10 to go. Senio drops back, looking over the top, has a receiver, and that is caught. Touchdown, Cuna.
Take the snap, drops back. You see a pass. Pass is there. It's caught. And it's touchdown, Titans.
See any of the receivers have a ton of space.
Burning's going to lip to the corner of the end zone. This is Osterman. What a catch. That is Osterman. 11-yard touchdown.
With more than one. Because again, they go to Iverson for breaks the tackle. I take it back. That's not Iverson. That is Atkinson. It's Cameron Atkinson's going to go. Touchdown.
Welcome back. As we approach second half action here in Burley, we want to recognize our power boosters once again and also talk about what you can do to become a power booster here for your favorite school on IdahoSports.com as well.
Yeah, thanks to these power boosters supporting Minico, Brewster Cheese, Vitaglow, Idaho, The Roof Resource, and Minidoka Memorial Hospital. Supporting Burley, The Roof Resource, AMI Supply, Minidoka Memorial Hospital, Impact Athletics, Vitaglow, Idaho, and Fibercom. Thanks to our power boosters. Do you have what it takes to be a power booster for your school on IdahoSports.com? Power boosters are a great way for you and your business to be seen by tens of thousands, even hundreds of thousands of current and potential clients and customers. And the best part, it's 100% tax deductible. Email sales@IdahoSports.com to find out more about how you can become a power booster on IdahoSports.com.
It looks like we did add a few more minutes on the clock, so we'll actually take a little bit of a break before we come back here for the second half. Stay with us here on IdahoSports.com.
Help dreams come true with the Ideal 529 Education Savings Program. Our easy-to-use tools make it simple to plan for your child's education. With tax benefits and ownership flexibility, Ideal is the perfect way to save for college, trade school, apprenticeships, K-12 education, and student loan repayment nationwide. Join us at our next webinar to learn more about the 529 plan. Enrolling takes just 15 minutes, and you can start with just $25. Visit idsaves.org to learn more.
Life can change. Your health insurance should keep up. Things like moving, losing your job or current coverage, or having a baby means you could qualify for new coverage and savings from a tax credit. At Your Health Idaho, you can compare plans and see how much you can save on your monthly premium. Make sure to apply and enroll within 60 days of the change. More coverage, less cost. Only at yourhealthidaho.org. See how much you could save.
As Idahoans, we're not afraid to take risks.
All the way, all the way. Go. All the way down, all the way down.
Driving under the influence is not a risk we're willing to take. Be around to do more of what you love.
Once again, we have contributed to your ideal college savings program. Love, Grandma and Grandpa.
Ideal. Eventually, they'll appreciate it.
Awesome. Thank you. I love it.
College costs money.
Help dreams come true with the Ideal 529 Education Savings Program. Our easy-to-use tools make it simple to plan for your child's education. With tax benefits and ownership flexibility, Ideal is the perfect way to save for college, trade school, apprenticeships, K-12 education, and student loan repayment nationwide. Join us at our next webinar to learn more about the 529 plan. Enrolling takes just 15 minutes, and you can start with just $25. Visit idsaves.org to learn more.
All right, no extra time added here now. So we will join the action back here for the third quarter, second half action here on IdahoSports.com. Doing the kicking duties once again is number 44, Will Kofer, Mr. Everything for the Spartans on the defensive side, as well as doing the kicking duties. A little bit of a spiral kick here, and it's going to be taken by Thompson, who escaped Slade Page, but Baker, and that's Cale Baker, last time absolutely blew up Thompson on the kickoff. This time doing only a little bit of reserve damage at the end.
Yeah, it did look like Cove might have sat down just a little bit right there, but he was kind of going down, you know, there's no sense in maybe getting another 6 inches just to get blown up.
Yeah, absolutely. Business decision right there, and probably a good one.
I think it's going to be important. Let's see if Burley can sustain another drive, right? You want to limit possessions. We said Minico only had 4 possessions in that first half. You want them to have that many possessions again in the second half.
And this is, I believe, the 6th possession for Burley as they gained that extra one from the onside kick. Trips to the top, like you said, in the half. We'll see if they air it out a little bit more, as they did not have a ton of success running the ball. But they do here as Armstrong breaks into the second level, and he's going to go all the way to the 50-yard line. Great way to start the half, 20-yard run for Armstrong, and really, I don't even know if he has 20 rushing yards in the game coming into that run.
No, they did a much better job. So Minico kind of got upfield a little too high, right? So the linebackers came through, DNs got high. Marcus just ran right underneath that. You can't get too high. You got to squeeze down the line of scrimmage. Otherwise, the running back just goes knife right underneath you.
Armstrong, only a junior, likely to be joined in the backfield by Ty Shirley next year. Shirley going to be in the slot here on the bottom of your screen. I just saw Tarbert look his way. Wouldn't be surprised to see the ball going his way. One of these plays as he rolls to his right, does Tarbert. He's going to try to go to Shirley and almost picked off by number 22, Ian Corona. He read that better than my wife reads books.
Yeah, he came from so deep. He came from that safety spot, that left safety side. He came all the way back up on that. I mean, that's a 2-yard out route. So he came all the way up on that. Probably had a chance at a pick. I think he was get the ball on the ground, right? If he was, I'm going to catch this ball, that's going for 6.
Oh, absolutely. You know, I mentioned it before the snap. I could see Tarbert looking Shirley's direction a few times, and I wonder if Corona saw that as well from his safety position. Kind of been shadowing whoever's in the slot, it feels like, throughout the night, have both safeties. Tarbert going to look to his left. This is Thompson. Thompson makes a man miss. Good little shake and bake for another first down, I believe. Yep, first down, Cove Thompson. And that's the first time I've seen really a lot of separation for Thompson.
Yeah, and the safety on that side, Andrew Lopez, who came in and laid the boom there, he got up hobbling. I think he took a brunt of that hit. Cove making that corner miss, just a simple little 5-yard out route. Good job by JD. Just give him the ball. Again, get your athletes in space. Let them make a play. I like them getting Thompson involved early.
And we'll see if they go his way again. Burley kind of being able to do whatever they would like thus far here in the second half. They'll go to Thompson again. This time making sure that he is wrapped up is number 15, Mark Salinas. Salinas last time missed a tackle. He had one of those slap the ground missed tackles after, so mad at himself for getting juked out. That time he made sure Cove Thompson knows, okay, I got you.
Yeah, I'm going to hit you square this time.
Good tackle, but still a gain of 3, so basically works as a short run play on pace or on schedule for what Burley would want out of a first down play. They'll set up shop.
And setting up a potential double move there, right? The out and up, right? Careful playing up too close.
2 straight outs, that's true. Thompson once again up top. They are on that left hash as they'll hand it off to Armstrong. Armstrong not able to get past no, it was not Casey. Looked like it was number 8, Jalix Guzman. First time we've said his name tonight, but he is over there on the other defensive end side. I saw the small number, and then I said, no, he's not as tall as Casey.
Yeah, Casey, as they said, remember, he's long.
He's long.
He's long. It's hard to run outside of him, right? So if you're gonna get anywhere, you got to run inside. But the problem is, you run inside, and there's a Baker brother sitting right there.
That's right.
Ready to eat you up.
Yeah, both of them with those cowboy collars. I just noticed Bodie's as well. Trips to the bottom. Tarbert looks to Coach Anderson for the play. They might call a timeout here. It looks like maybe a little bit of debris from the sideline.
I'm looking for maybe a little bit of a rollout here. They got kind of that same setup.
And I'd imagine they would have liked to get off that left hash the last play, so Thompson has a little more room to work with in single coverage up top. They are going to look his way, though. I think he might have gotten grabbed, but it looked like incidental contact. Tarbert wanted something from it, but I think it was just as he was coming across on his post. Maybe just a lot of Spartans there. Incidental contact results in a 4th down.
Yeah, and again, I'm a defensive guy. I'm gonna side always kind of with the defensive. Offense. They're always a little bit pretty. They kind of want what they want. So I'd rather let the players play. Unless it's obvious and it's a foul. I mean, no one's really too upset about that.
Yeah, and I didn't see much of a reaction from Thompson. It was more Tarbert. I think he knew how close it was to a touchdown pass there. They have the same formation. We'll see if they go to the same play. They're going to move Armstrong to the right this time. They're going to look Thompson. Double move like you called. He's going to chuck it deep to Thompson. It comes down. I thought it was going to be picked, but instead knocked down once again by by Salinas. Good coverage there. Tarbert kind of catches the break as that could have been a pick, but I guess doesn't really change anything.
Yeah, I'd say that's probably the better choice by him. It's a 4th down. Let's say it's a pick. Hey, have fun taking it on the 1-yard line versus the 35.
And not a bad choice by Tarbert either there. On 4th down, you got nothing to lose because they're likely not to return it back. Wayman in at quarterback. He's going to roll to his left, option left. He's going to keep this one. Good fake as he goes past Armstrong and more. On the tackle was number 44, Tayson Banta, who just maybe saves a touchdown there.
Yeah, and Banta, the backside linebacker, had to come all the way from the far side. They're running that pitch option. No one's really running with the pitch man. No one's really running with the quarterback. Quarterback's like, all right, I'll just take it and go.
Wayman going to hand off to Heward. We've seen this from their last touchdown possession where they have a big play. They typically go to Heward right after. Only a gain of about 3 on the play as they'll go up quick again. You see the difference in the offense when Hartley is out there compared to Wayman. Hartley, more of the passer. They want to make sure they get the right play, and whereas Wayman, they're working fast. They want to use their pace of play to really cause problems, and they do there is they force Asher Bailey off sides, setting up a 2nd and short.
It's always so tough being those D-line guys. They're like, you got to get off the ball. You got to get in there. You got to force. And then, they're running this hurry up, and then they, freeze count you. And it's just, and then the coaches are, what are you doing?
The difference of football, the different sides of football really catch me. Heward going to take this one. He's going to cut up the middle, and I think he did get the 1st down, maybe just doing enough. I think there is going to be a hold, though. The culprit, I think, was number 77, Coy McKenzie.
Hey, I'll tell you what. If it was a tackle, though, it would have been probably a pretty good form tackle. You might have been able to show that. It's so hard. You get some of those big guys coming out. They're trying to get to that linebacker, and those linebackers are usually a little bit shiftier, a little bit bigger, or a little bit quicker than them. So you're just trying to reach that shoulder. But, again, we kind of get into this Minico deal where they get a couple of these penalties. They've been stacking them up. They've got quite a few holding calls. If Burley can keep them behind the sticks and out of their consistency, then they can start to maybe get them in passing downs.
Yeah, at Minico, a couple blowout wins, but really their only really tough opponent they've had so far was Bishop Kelly. Wayman's going to look deep to Heward. No room, though, for him to have any chance of catching that ball, though, as it'll set up 3rd and 9. Like I was talking about, they haven't really faced a tough opponent other than Bishop Kelly, who is maybe the best team in the state. And so no disrespect to the score I won't even say the score. They had a tough one against BK. Burley, probably their next toughest opponent they've had thus far this season. And they really need to clean that up if they want to secure this conference title that they've kind of held captive for the last several years. Wayman's going to option right. He's going to toss this one to Heward. Heward, I think, got there. They're going to call him just a yard short, it looks like. I don't normally see an underhand option toss very often, like Wayman did there. Oh, they gave it to him.
See, again, they're just really crashing down on that side, crashing down on the pitch option side. They're just gashing them with that option. I think, they're motioning away, going to the other side. Just got to stick with it. Hey, they've put a couple of these bigger guys in. Look for them to get into that unbalanced, real heavy formation here.
Wayman joined by many big boys up front, including Kofer. He's going to skirt his way for another first down. 12-yard run by Logan Wayman as he is stacking up the yards. We don't have official stats in front of us, but I'd say he's close to 60, 70 rushing yards at this point, which is exactly what he's in there for. And it looks like Coach Blaser is going with if it ain't broke, don't fix it, as Wayman has just been out there the last several possessions. Looks like there is an injured Bobcat on the sideline. I'll take this moment once again to shout out our power boosters. For Minico, Brewster Cheese, Vitaglow of Idaho, the Roof Resource, and Minidoka Memorial Hospital. For Burley, the Roof Resource, AMI Supply, Minidoka Memorial Hospital, Impact Athletics, Vitaglow of Idaho, and Fibercom.
Becoming a power booster on Idaho Sports is a great way for you and our businesses to be seen by tens of thousands, even hundreds of thousands of current and potential clients and customers. And the best part, it's 100% tax deductible. Just email sales@IdahoSports.com, and within 24 hours, your business can be proudly seen on your schools, on your favorite schools' teams, schedules, rosters, and conference standings. I always love going on to IdahoSports.com, looking at some of the schedules, and again, I have it printed off here, some of the games for Burley and Minico that they've had previously, and you can see all those same power boosters sitting right there. It's a really great opportunity for your business to be seen, and a really great opportunity for local communities to support their local community. I love it. Idaho people doing Idaho things for Idaho people.
That's right. I love my job because I broadcast so many different games throughout the Magic Valley, and every single game you see different power boosters. You see like the Ma and Pa restaurants I did a game in Hagerman Logos, and all of the sponsors, the power boosters, were all places I've never heard of before. And I walk in and I drive into Hagerman and I go, well, where's that at? I kind of want to know where it is.
Yeah.
And it's fun to see. And even places like the Roof Resource, they are populated with power boosters. They're a power booster for almost every team that I've done a game for this year, not just in the Magic Valley, but also in East Idaho. So shout out them. Hand off to Ethan Heward. First time we've called his name in a while, as he's going to round the corner. And he's going to be brought for another first down, it looks like. The tackle was by Quentin Alvarado. The fans over here on the Minico side were asking for a horse collar. I think he more just kind of grabbed him and just kind of held it.
Yeah.
It wasn't really a tackle. He just kind of like put his hands on his shoulder.
They're really just getting them on the outsides, I'd watch for like a jet sweep quarterback going up the middle. They're going to be trying to press that outside.
Yeah, on the 10-yard line now. Heward's going to motion. This is Wayman up the middle.
Yeah, there it was. Jet motion across, quarterback keeping it in the middle. But they did a good job forcing him inside.
Yeah, and really the first time Wayman's been stopped in a while, as the Bobcats defense needs to come up big here, as we see the clock tick, 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 tick. 6:30 left here in the third quarter. Burley stop would go a long ways here.
Wayman seeming a little bit hobbled. Maybe look for them to pass it rather than him hold it.
We've also seen Brendan Heward used a lot in this situation, as they'll give it up the middle to him. But the same result, as the Bobcat defensive line really comes up big, filled in by the linebackers as well. Just to shout out a few of those that were there, Chucky Olivas and Jake Pratt, both sophomores, by the way. 3rd and goal from the 10. No yardage gained here. They are going to stick with Wayman. I almost thought that maybe we'd see Hartley, but Wayman has kind of been the red zone QB for the Spartans.
I'm looking for maybe a little bit of a bubble, something to the right. You got a couple of their Sanders and Heward out there.
He's going to look that way. Nowhere to go, though, as he's going to jump pass to Brendan Heward, as we might have a candidate for our IdahoSports.com Play of the Week. Great play by Logan Wayman as he improvised his way for a 10-yard touchdown pass to Brendan Heward.
Yeah, what a tough play. As a defense, you force the quarterback up. He's scrambling, looking around, starting to get tackled, and boom, he just Tebow jump pass, put it right over the top of him.
That takes a lot of arm strength. And great play. When he jumped, I got a little nervous at first. They're going to do a swinging gate. They're going to keep this with Heward. Heward, I think, was just short. And they're going to say it was. (20-7) now, here with 5:24 left in the third quarter. As that felt like, it felt like Minico had kind of lost their traction once they got to the 10-yard line. They passed it with Logan Wayman, who is not typically their throwing QB, and he makes one of the most athletic plays I've seen this season.
And since Logan scored that touchdown, he's kind of been the guy. They were, rotating quarterbacks. It was Hartley to start the game. He was going. Wayman came in for just a couple plays to run it, but it's been the Wayman show since. Yeah, he passed for a touchdown there, but he was doing the bulk of the carrying, running that option, doing a really good job. Man, he's a big kid too. It's a little bit of a tough load to bring down as well.
Yeah, Logan Wayman, the little brother of Nate Wayman, who was an absolute superstar on the gridiron and on the basketball court for the Spartans the last several years. Logan showing his talents. Armstrong's going to take the return, and he's going to break about 3 or 4 tackles, eventually brought down by Bodie Baker. You know, one thing that I love seeing, and you don't always see it at the 5A level compared to at the lower levels where a lot of players play both sides, you don't always see your best defensive players on kickoff or kickoff return. And so I love seeing, Minico always does that, and I love seeing it.
Especially those linebackers. I mean, you got a guy that's got a nose for the football. Why not put him on kickoff? I mean, he's gonna go down, have his nose on the football again. And again, he's already on the field. He's just got to stand up, take a few steps back, and he's in his position already.
Yep, and we do see Bodie Baker right out there in his middle linebacker position. Trips to the left of Tarbett. He's going to motion Alvarado, and he's going to throw there. But a great open field tackle as he sheds the block. I think that was Slade Page, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, shucking the block of Crew Thompson, again, sophomore. But I mean, if he would have been able to get that block, get outside of him, he would have had some room to run there. Not score a touchdown, but good, solid drive starter. Where now maybe you lose about a half yard, and you're sitting at 2nd and long.
Looks like they're going. It feels like they stuck with that I formation so much in the first half. We haven't seen that in a long time. With the Minico defense really disrupting the trend that they had. Tarbett brought down, though, as this is number 8, Jalix Guzman. Guzman hitting him from the blind side there. Tarbett didn't see him one bit.
Yeah, he was the end on that far side. They had that running back kind of jump out in a little bit of a bubble. Tried to throw a slant. It was not there. That was not. And the minute there, he kind of cocked back, was about to throw, had to tuck it and run, but was already getting eaten up.
And that will result in, I believe it's 3rd and 17. As we'll see how aggressive Coach Anderson goes here. Trips to the top of the screen. It's going to be a handoff up the middle. Play it a little bit safe here with the game still within reach, obviously. Not a bad play call there. 4th down and long. Obviously going to be a punting situation for Tarbett. Really the first disappointing possession for the Bobcats. They haven't scored, like I said, every single possession, but they've been able to move the ball, and that's really the first time they haven't.
Yeah, really would have loved to get at least a first down or two to, again, bleed some clock. have Minico get some less time.
And Tarbert has done a great job in the punting game. Oh, a little bit of a bad snap there. Tarbert's still able to get something out of it, as that's going to roll a lot more than it should have. That's the way I'll put that, down to the 23-yard line. Cove Thompson putting a stop to the punt there. And that was everything but a disastrous punt, and then it ended up being great.
Yeah, he's a right-footed kicker, but was kind of trying to go to the left as he was kicking it.
If you just look at the spiral, you would think that was a decent punt because you want to see a spiral on a punt. But it was not, but it rolled all the way down to the 23. Looks like this time we're going to see Hartley in at quarterback. I saw Wayment getting some medical attention. He has his shoe off right now, maybe getting retaped on that left ankle. Like you said, he was limping a little bit. Hartley going to look to his right. Brendan Heward with the catch on the bubble. As I think officially in the books that'll go down as a run, as that looked like a backwards pass. 4-yard reception though for Heward.
Hey, and that first time that was one of the first times the first guy there made the tackle,
which is really good growth for the Bobcats. Something that was pointed out by Coach Cameron Anderson before the game. They have to tackle a little bit of a blitz. I think it almost looked like it was a screen with how many guys the Bobcats were able to get through as everybody went in. There is going to be a little bit of a late flag. I don't think that was anything on the quarterback. There might be a hold. It feels like,
or even lineman downfield, because he did throw that downfield.
That's true. Yep. Good call there. As again, penalties. They've really extended the drives for Minico. They've been able to overcome it, obviously, throughout. It feels like each touchdown drive they've had penalties that have drawn them back. But that is not something you could do when they play a team like Twin Falls in the last game of the season.
You can't have those kind of sustaining penalties. Got to fix that up.
Hartley going to fake and throw to Stimson.
They've done that a few times here, just getting a quick slant on the far side from trips. You're isolated. You're out here kind of by yourself as a corner.
Raxton showing good hands there as he's manned up against Cove Thompson. Fun matchup. I mean, Minico hasn't had to throw the ball as much tonight, but a fun matchup nonetheless. As this will be a handoff up the middle to Heward. Heward's got plenty of room to spare. He's going to evade 2-3 tacklers, and he could go all the way for a touchdown. And he will. 74-yard touchdown. Brendan Heward extending the Spartan lead here in the third quarter.
Yeah, what a really good job reading that block. All those guys have been coming and kind of kicking themselves out, getting to the sideline. But that time, Burley defenders just kind of overrunning him, getting too far over, and just forcing him to cut back into the inside, and there was nobody there.
I think Logan Wayment is coming onto the field with either no shoe on or a very freshly taped ankle, limping his way out there to do the holding. As he'll get the hold down just in time, but it looks like the kick is going to be no good.
Yeah, a little bit of awkward handling there. It's always hard when, Wayment limping pretty good as he's coming off.
And we didn't see that. We did see him limping a little bit as he came off the field the last time he was out there, about 3 or 4 plays into the drive, but he was still able to do a jump pass, and then you can just see the pain that he's in. Hartley able to come in there and obviously do his job as this is the one time you're grateful for a 2 QB system.
Yeah, he was like, hey, on that jump pass, I jumped off my right foot. It wasn't my left foot. It was just a 1-foot hop.
Yeah, he is in some major pain. I see him pumping his fist a little bit. I think he's a little angry at the pain that he's feeling. So I wonder if we won't see any more of Logan Wayment tonight.
Really,
with the lead though, I don't know if he's needed.
Yeah, a really good job again by the lineman, paving the way. A really good kick out block. Again, allowing there to be cutback lanes. There's only cutback lanes when those guys are doing their job. So a really good job. He got through that first line of the defense really quickly. He is fast. He can get from. I think his top speed is fast, but he also reaches his top speed within the first 10, 15 yards.
And that's everything that you expect out of Minico running backs, it feels like. Every year there's somebody, like I mentioned, Preston Sonner-Cranny, the best running back in the state. maybe throughout any of the divisions of high school football throughout the state of Idaho. And Heward filling his shoes pretty well tonight, as it looks like the Bobcats will be starting this possession from the 25. I have to say again for Heward, the first tackle he broke, or I shouldn't say broke, the first tackler he evaded, I almost said, and he's gone. And then I said, no, he could be gone. Oh, yeah, he is. As he really, like you said, he used that side-to-side speed. He used his top speed. Once he got to about the 30, there was no chance anybody was catching him. Tarbett setting up shop with as big of a deficit as it's been tonight. 19-point game, 3-possession ball game, as the Bobcats are in need of a good possession here. They're going to start this by handing off up the middle to Armstrong. As you really wonder if Armstrong was able to have a little bit of a better first half running-wise, where this game would be at, because he has had a pretty good third quarter thus far. He had a really good first possession, but then since that, or that middle chunk right there, either the blocking just wasn't there, or maybe not finding the right holes, whatever it might have been, and it really disrupted the flow of what Burley was doing well in that first possession.
Yeah, and it's hard to get back into that when you're down multiple possessions, right? It's hard to, in your mind as an offensive coordinator, to start calling plays, running the ball up the middle.
Tarbett joined once again in the shotgun. We've seen this trips formation from them all throughout this night. That's going to go over Shirley's head. Maybe Tarbett expecting him to just go on a straight streak, but instead a little bit of an in route. And again, Shirley, only his first game of the season. He is a sophomore. Had a couple great plays there in the first half, but a little bit of miscommunication there between the senior and the sophomore.
Yeah, I kind of turned and had to take a double look. I saw 50 out there, and I was like, what's it? Bodie Baker was out there covering a guy out at the numbers from the middle linebacker spot, way deep outside there. I mean, again, it's just getting to the ball, finding the ball. He knows where he needs to be.
Yeah, Bodie, a senior, has really been a staple of this program. And one of those that if you're a parent of the Minico Spartan faithful, you want your kid to become like Bodie or Cale Baker. And going to be it looks like a middle screen. I think it ended up going off number 74, Zach Hobbs. Alvarado was the intended receiver, but Zach Hobbs was the one that took the impact of the football right there.
Yeah, that was, again, you get kind of behind the sticks if you're Burley, and you're getting into some of these harder to manage, throwing a screen. They ran on their last third down. You really want to be forcing them to be coming up versus going back. They got 2 returners this time for the Minico Spartans.
It may be a good idea. We haven't seen a punt return by the Spartans yet. Almost blocked. Instead, this is going to go back to Jaden Sanders. First time we've seen him with open space throughout this entire game, as we see his talent on display. He's going to go all the way down to the 20. Oh, he's going to break a tackle. I take that back down to the, I don't know where they're going to even spot him at. The ref, the sideline official, I think is going to go, oh, there was a penalty. I was going to say, I don't know why he's not spotting the football. There was a penalty that is a flag that's sitting on the 30-yard line. I'm going to guess it has to be a block in the back or a hold, which is kind of deflating for Jaden Sanders because, like we said, as electrifying as he is, we haven't seen a lot of his talent throughout the night really showing his speed there. It will be a 10-yard penalty for a block in the back, but still good field possession nonetheless for the Spartans.
Yeah, you're a punt returner. You tell those guys, hey, get to the sideline. Run to the sideline, try to run up, spread out those guys, allow yourself to get some movement upfield.
And another penalty as well for the Spartans. Like we had talked about, something they really need to clean up. Sometimes it'll get you through a game, but it has not got it. It won't get you through games in the playoffs as well.
I think the center went down and he was like, "That's not our ball." They had to switch out. That was still the Burley ball.
Penalties can do that sometimes. Hartley's going to hand it off the middle to Heward after his long touchdown run. First touch since then. I think this will wind down the end of our third quarter here. The Spartans up big, 26-7 as we head into the third quarter. We'll have more action here on IdahoSports.com here in the River Rivalry from Burley High School between the Minico Spartans and the Burley Bobcats. Stay with us, folks.
At Valleywide Cooperative, we're here when you need us. For 100 years, we have been here to help you with food, fuel, and good old-fashioned advice. And for us, serving is more than a job, it's a way of life, which is why we pour so much into the communities around us. We've employed hundreds of your neighbors. We take pride in that, and in giving back millions in sponsorships, grants, donations, and scholarships. It's our way of saying thanks. We're Valleywide, and yesterday, today, and tomorrow, we're here for you.
Are you interested in joining the team here at IdahoSports.com? We are always on the lookout for talented people that want to get involved in what we do. Salespeople, producers, camera operators, writers, photographers, and even broadcasters. Email editor@IdahoSports.com to find out more. Idaho Sports does a lot more than just broadcasting. Continue checking back to the website for updated scores, scheduling, standings, polls, action, photo galleries, and written content from every corner of the state.
Welcome back for some fourth quarter action. Looked like it was a quick slant across the middle from Hartley to Sanders. Honestly, I wasn't ready because the music was still pumping. They were still jumping around.
Yeah, and you could see the ref motion to the box saying, cut the music.
And just like that, it's third down after what felt like was going to be really good field position for the Spartans. We'll see what they do here on 3rd and 8. Hartley in the shotgun will roll to his right. He's going to look deep. He does have a man. Sanders able to knock the ball away from Armstrong, as he had Sanders more inside, but threw the ball outside.
Yeah, kind of lofted it up to him. If he would have put it more maybe on a line, kind of on a rope right at him, Armstrong kind of playing deeper than he was.
Yeah, I think he also had a couple guys in the slot as well. I think that was Heward and number 6, Riley Rigby. 4th down and 8. Obviously 4-down territory here. Heward will go to Hartley's left. He's going to drop back. He does have Sanders again. Almost a great catch by Sanders. But instead, it's going to be a turnover on downs. Good coverage by Marcus Armstrong there.
Yeah, Armstrong was, I hear a couple of the fans up here. I mean, Armstrong was in front of the receiver. If anything, it would have been pass interference on the receiver trying to come back to the ball. Armstrong, he was first to the ball there. Really a good job. It is hard for a kid to cover 2 times in a row with a really fast receiver and just being able to stay with him. Great job by Armstrong.
Yeah, I see great coaching down there as well. I don't think our video camera quite gets it. But Coach Blaser down there with his young quarterback, Hartley, explaining to him exactly how he wants him to make that throw. And I think that's a perfect chance to do it, too, because they do have this lead in the game. It's a great chance to go and talk to your young QB because he's going to have to make that throw at some point. Tarbett in the shotgun once again. As he'll look to his right. Quick pass to Shirley, but it's going to go right through his hands. Incomplete. 2nd down. That was a good throw by Tarbett. I think what I saw was Shirley, again, I'm not going to just keep harping on sophomore, but I do want to say their timing with that, it's a little different when you're in freshman football last year or JV football, whatever he was in. Coming back, you don't expect the ball to be right there when you turn your body.
Yeah, I do like Coach Anderson going back to some of those quick hitters, right? Just, hey, let's get a couple quick plays, a quick hitch on the backside.
Shirley and Thompson on the same side. We haven't seen much of that tonight. Armstrong at the top. Thompson off his hands. Couple drops for the Bobcats, and it'll bring up 3rd down and 10 from their own 38.
Yeah, and JD putting that ball kind of on the outside shoulder of Thompson. Good ball placement, right where you want it. Put it away from the defenders on the inside.
And again, Tarbett really has made a lot of good throws tonight. Hasn't always been caught by his receivers, but been doing enough to keep this offense rolling. Not a lot of time to throw as well with the great Minico pass rush. Trips to the bottom once again. Armstrong's at the top by himself. It's going to be a handoff to Alvarado. He's got plenty of room. This is going to be a first down and more. A little bit of a cramp, it looks like. Oh, he pushed off. Great stiff arm. Vince Coronado might not want to put that on his highlight reel as he got shoved.
Yeah, a really great job. I mean, he's a big kid for a sophomore, and you know how that works. Especially you see that in basketball players all the time, where they'll be kind of lanky and still growing into their body. I mean, he is going to be a force to be reckoned with as the years come. All of those Minico defenders went bailing backwards. I think they were really expecting a pass. A good, comfortable call from Coach Anderson, trusting in his guys. Hey, let's get a play here, and it broke.
Well, and with Alvarado doing well in the backfield, it opens up Marcus Armstrong being able to go out to receiver as well, which is where they kind of need him right now in this passing game to be a playmaker. Tarbet's going to roll to his right. He's got Shirley in the flat, and Shirley gets rocked. It's going to be a helmet-to-helmet. That's going to be on Slade Page. It's going to be a targeting. Big hit. It did jar the ball loose as well. I think they're probably going to say that was incomplete, as I see another flag there, as this will be an additional 15 yards. We're going to see 30 yards here of penalties. Coach Blauser not happy with the call there.
Yeah, it's a tough call in football nowadays. I mean, if it looks like targeting, if it's anything near it, the refs are going to throw the flag. It has become so much of an emphasis for these things. I mean, these guys see it, and it is really hard on these refs to be able to do that. I mean, gone are the days where it's just a, whack 'em, kind of hit 'em football.
Yeah, and I mean, defenseless receivers, that's the hardest thing, because Shirley was just turning. It was if you slow that down caption by caption, shot by shot, was it long enough that it actually wasn't defenseless because he had turned? And especially where the ball got jarred loose, it's tough. But nonetheless, that'll be 30 yards in penalties, as that's the biggest play for Burley here in the second half, I'd have to say. From the 8-yard line now, goal to go, is Tarbet with Alvarado in the shotgun. Armstrong up top by himself. They're going to go to Armstrong. I think they're going to be glad that he didn't catch that, actually, as that would have been a loss of about 4 yards on the play. That was a little bit of a Matthew Stafford type throw from Tarbet as he got down there. I'm a Stafford guy, so I'm not going to say a Patrick Mahomes guy. That was a Stafford throw.
Yeah, a little bit of baseball in his blood, maybe.
That's right. Who's your favorite NFL team, Wyatt?
I'm a Colts fan.
Okay, so you're feeling great right now.
Yeah, super random. Indiana Jones doing really well for us. I'm a Colts fan because it was who was doing really good when I was 8 years old.
Yeah, no, I understand that. See, and I went the opposite direction. I'm a Lions fan because they were doing horribly, but I love Stafford.
Hey, you're doing good too.
I'm doing good both ways. I like the Lions, I like the Rams, so we're good. Trips to the top. Shirley with a block in front, but slipping through the tackle there was Cale Baker. As he didn't, I don't believe he was blocked. He was the unblocked linebacker out there, but able to do his job splitting the two blockers for the tackle.
And the corner out there, number 15, Mark, doing a really good job pressing that outside. He wasn't going to be able to get outside, force him to cut back inside on the unblocked man. Really want to get in here and score. See, you got some of those penalties down there. You got to put this in the end zone if you're the Bobcats.
10 minutes left here in the fourth. Third and goal. Alvarado's going to motion. They're going to go up the middle. Oh, what a play by Bodie Baker. He saved a touchdown there.
Yeah, a really good play call, and maybe that's just one of those we've been saying. JD's been putting that ball straight on him. If that ball just goes up a little bit, it's an easy walk-in touchdown. No one near him.
Oh, yeah, there was nobody else in the end zone except for Shirley. And I wonder if they'll go right back to it, I wonder.
Yeah, and I'm curious if you maybe see a timeout here. This is such a big fourth down play. Maybe try to get a little more time to call the right play.
They are going to put Shirley in the same spot. Thompson also in the slot right next to him. Armstrong by himself up top. As it's going to be Armstrong, one-handed catch.
Oh, my goodness.
They're going to call it incomplete though, as he dropped it as he was going out of bounds. Almost an incredible one-handed catch by Marcus Armstrong. Instead, a turnover on downs, and the ball will go back to the Spartans.
Oh, what a really good, just running a comeback on the outside single receiver. Good ball by JD. Again, he's trying to put that ball in a spot where no one's going to get it. Man, that's a tough ball. Again, he's putting that ball so hard, so fast, so quick. It's a tough catch.
Yeah, and Armstrong, I mean, he's going to feel bad about that, but also that would have been a heck of a catch.
Yeah. He stuck it out with one hand. Some guys are like, you got to get two hands on it. That was one hand full extension.
I don't know if you saw this week, Baker Mayfield had a little bit of a mic'd up moment with his rookie receiver, Egbuka. And Egbuka had a great one-handed catch. Baker goes over, you don't disrespect my football like that.
Yeah.
I throw you the ball, you catch it with two hands. You do not disrespect my football.
He's like, come on, Rook.
That's right. Obviously joking there, as it was a great catch by Egbuka. And almost a great one-handed catch by Armstrong there. Instead, first down from the 10 as new quarterback. Oh, no, it'll be Hartley again. Hartley will head off to Heward. Heward brought down, good tackle there by number 56, Austin Hofber.
Yeah, I'm going to guess there's going to be a heavy dose of Heward's, whether it's a quick to the outside to 11 or inside to number 2. It's going to be a lot of quicks kind of going here. If I'm Coach Blauser, I'm trying to get in and out of this game.
Yeah, and obviously they love that no-huddle offense. We'll see a pace maybe slow down a little bit as well. 4-yard run for Heward. It looks like there's going to be an injury on the field.
Do you have what it takes to be a power booster for your school and IdahoSports.com? Show your devotion to your school and advertise your business at the same time by becoming a power booster. You get a large clickable display banner on every team page for your school and a clickable link to your business name on every broadcast. Every broadcast we do for your school and for during the regular season and state tournaments. Power boosters are a great way for you and your business to be seen by tens of thousands, even hundreds of thousands of current and potential clients and customers. And the best part, it's 100% tax deductible. Becoming a power booster is fast and easy. Just email sales@IdahoSports.com, and within 24 hours, your business can be proudly seen on your favorite schools, team schedules, rosters, and conference standing. Multi-schools discounts are available. Again, email sales@IdahoSports.com to find out more about how you can become a power booster on IdahoSports.com.
Looks like the injured Bobcat on the play was number 45, Caleb Hope. Caleb Hope been out there a lot tonight. He's been putting in a lot of work, taking on a lot of brunty blocks by the Spartan offensive line. One thing about the Spartan offensive line, early in the season, they were rotating basically their entire offensive line. And we haven't seen as much rotation, but we have seen a little bit of rotation, which that can really give you a lot of depth going into the later parts of the season as well. That's going to be a pass by Hartley. He got rocked on the play, though. Looks like it was number 23, Jake Pratt again.
Yeah, tall, longer player, got a little bit of the ball, tipped it up. That ball wasn't able to get to the receiver. They just tried to run a quick slant on the backside. A really, really good stop for the defense, allowing yourselves to maybe get a return. Armstrong goes back to return the punt, looking to kind of get some good field position after a really good sustaining drive just a few minutes ago.
If I'm not mistaken as well, last time Casey's punt almost got blocked. Only a second. He's going to run for it, though. What a risky play by River Casey. He's going to get the first, though.
Yeah, if the first defender there had been able to make the tackle, that is your goal line going the other way, but a really gutsy play from Coach Blauser to go for that.
And they got it by about 6 inches as Casey stepped out of bounds.
And Casey didn't look like he was running very fast, but again, he is long, so long strides.
Yep. And that'll keep the Spartan offense out there. 8:20 left here in the fourth quarter. With the way that the Spartans have been able to run the ball tonight, you almost wonder if they can take almost that entire clock here.
Yeah, I'm going to see Heward running power, something quick.
But instead they're going to throw a bubble pass to Sanders, and he's got room to spare. Great block downfield by Stimson. Sanders is going to go all the way for an 80-yard touchdown. $80 yards goes Jaden Sanders to basically ice this game for the Spartans.
Yeah, what a really tough play for the Bobcats. At first, it looked like it was about to be a pick. It was about to be a pick out there on the outside. He read that really quickly, was able to see it. Ball just traveled just over top of him. And if you gamble on that, there's no one going to be there after the fact.
2-point conversion attempt by Heward is going to be good. 34-7 for the Spartans. And what a turn of events right there.
Yeah, just a quick turnaround. I even said it. Burley with a really good third down stop, forcing the punt. All of a sudden, that fake punt turns into a long touchdown run for Sanders.
Sanders, it's funny that we were just saying they could take the whole quarter here with their offense, with the way they've been running the ball. You said a heavy dose of power up the middle for Heward, just like that. And Armstrong almost picked that pass.
Yeah, that was so close. He again, I think he's been matched up with him, kind of running alongside with him. He saw him go into a bubble. He sprinted up, just took the little bit wrong of an angle, and just too much separation between him and Sanders.
And it feels like that's kind of been the night for Burley. It's been inches or like one play, one block, whatever it might be. And I mean, yes, again, the score is 34-7, but it's been a really close game and one that Burley's going to kick themselves when they watch the film. Oh, onside kick.
Yeah, no love lost in this rivalry.
Kel Baker making sure he can still get some sort of hit on that play. On the recovery, well, we'll call it recovery, Victor Molina.
Yeah, and that's pretty impressive for a D lineman. I mean, Victor Molina, he's been playing on the D line there, and so he just able to jump on that ball, get down quick.
The last thing I think he thought was going to happen right there was he was going to get the ball. We're down 34-7 on an onside kick attempt. But like you said, no love lost in this rivalry. Minico wanting to make sure the Bobcats know who has run this rivalry on the gridiron these last 21 years.
Minico showing a forefront now.
I haven't seen a lot of that in years past even. But knowing what's been happening, as it's been a lot of heavy dose of running, Alvarado going to find a way to get 2 yards after being contacted in the backfield. And once again, just a beautiful night. Great turnout here from both the Minico fans and the Burley fans. I'm sure this is the type of game that both fan bases go, I wish every game was only 10 minutes away.
Yeah, exactly. You're usually, jumping on a bus going somewhere.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure that the Minico bussed over here, but in reality, they could have just driven as well.
Yeah, some kids probably live closer to Burley than they would their own high school.
That's true. That ball is going to be tipped. Shirley unable to come up with the catch.
Hey, right idea there again, though. Shirley running open, as was Armstrong. Just, got to keep those D linemen hands down.
Yeah, and even just looking ahead, Next week, Burley has Canyon Ridge, who has had a tough season as well. And then they go Jerome. Canyon Ridge and Jerome, back-to-back weeks. Those are two very winnable games for Burley, and obviously a lot you can take from this game. Yes, they've only put 7 points on the board, but a lot of really good possessions, a lot of really good defensive possessions as well, and two very winnable games before they go to Twin Falls on the 17th, which obviously Twin Falls, Minico, they've been right at the top of the division for years.
Yeah, and if you're able to build on that momentum, stack a couple wins, you go into Twin Falls, maybe ready to shock somebody.
Alvarado is going to not have this one as Tarbott's going to keep it. First time we've really seen him keep it in a long time. He did get rocked in the first quarter on a helmet-to-helmet. And really, I don't remember him running since then.
No, I don't think so, and he hasn't really needed to. The pockets honestly held up pretty good. I think they've only had 1, maybe 2 sacks. He's been getting the ball out quick, which I think is important. 4th down here at midfield. We'll see if Bobcats can convert.
You know, if I didn't look at the scoreboard once this entire game, I would think that Burley has 3 touchdowns, maybe even 4 touchdowns. They've really played a pretty good game.
Yeah, probably should have scored right before halftime. Right, should have scored just right here in the end zone.
And this is a totally different game if they're able to get the ball in the end zone on those 2 possessions. Tarbott's going to look to his right to Alvarado. He's got to go somewhere to get this first down, but he does not. It'll be a turnover on downs. Minico will take over right at midfield. 6 minutes left here in the 4th. As we'll recognize our power boosters one more time for Minico. Brewster Cheese, Vitaglow of Idaho, the Roof Resource, Minidoka Memorial Hospital. For Burley, the Roof Resource, AMI Supply, Minidoka Memorial Hospital, Impact Athletics, Vitaglow of Idaho, and Fibercom. Thank you once again to our power boosters for your support of these schools and IdahoSports.com. First down on the 49. Hartley out there once again, as it'll be an offsides. The culprit, number 69, Quade Garner.
And they have a couple of those D-line. They kind of do D-line by committee. So, you know, offensive linemen coming in to do the defensive line, and Quade and Zach Hobbs are a couple of those guys. Yeah,
nobody that I want to point this out as well. Burley returns 0 players from last year on defense. And that's a lot to have to come through. Heward going to roll his way for about a 2-yard gain, setting up 2nd and 3.
I've been pretty impressed with Jake Pratt. Again, a sophomore in there, playing linebacker. Kind of undersized, you would say. I mean, more of a safety, almost corner type, body, but really sticks his nose in there. I would assume the leading tackler for the Bobcats tonight.
Absolutely. Trips to the bottom as Pratt's going to try to work his way through. Hartley showing his speed as he's going to break a couple tackles and get all the way to the outside for a about 23-yard run. Braxton Stimson putting his hands on his helmet like, I didn't know he could do that.
When did Waymont's leg get better,
Dax Hartley showing his speed and broke a couple tackles as well, making Logan Waymont feel a little bit better on the sideline, I think, watching his partner in crime do some damage on the ground. Hand off to Heward. He's got a lot of room over there, and he's able to break it up the middle for a touchdown. 20-yard touchdown run.
Yeah, what a game for Heward. Really does a great job of mixing his speed with his patience. Really waits for the blocks to get set up, but once those blocks get set up, he is off to the races, just jutting through that hole as fast as he can. Again, though, props to the line, setting up those blocks. Really good opportunity for them. I think they're going to have to go for 2 each of these times because I think Waymont's their holder. I don't know if they have a holder.
Yeah. I mean, you don't practice backup holding very often.
No, that's
true. I remember
true.
I held in high school, and there was one play I had a cramp, and that was one of the issues. I had to just kind of jog out there with a cramp. They also don't have Waymont for this formation, and instead they're going to keep Heward back there. He did convert it last time, but they're going to call a false start, as that's kind of the danger of the way that they flip that formation, is they need everyone to be set.
Yeah, they got their regular offense coming out here now to run this play.
I mean, I guess it's something to work on, right? You now have to think about what do we do from 7 yards out? And they're going to go in doubles. This pretty much opens the entire playbook as well. Likely to see passes. Hartley will drop back. He sees Heward to his left. That's going to be incomplete, though, as he would have had him just a little bit out in front of him. Instead, the score. Oh, let me change that on our scoreboard. 40-7 in favor of the Spartans here. 5:08 left in the ball game. So just looking ahead, we mentioned for Burley, for Minico, next week they will be at home against Idaho Falls. Idaho Falls tonight is, I know I saw them on our Friday Night Flash as I pulled this up.
They're playing Skyline.
I don't know. Oh, yeah, they are down 48-6 against Skyline in the third quarter. Skyline, obviously a powerhouse every single year. Idaho Falls up and down from year to year. The week after that, they will also host Canyon Ridge, and then they will go to big game on the 17th of October at Madison. Last year, they had a pretty good clash at home against Madison, and then they will end the season in what is always the de facto district championship game against Twin Falls. Last year, Minico able to win that one, go undefeated in the conference. Twin Falls only one loss in the conference, as they both kind of feel like they're similar teams this year. They haven't really played super great against great competition, but they've dominated lesser competition, and so it'll be interesting to see at the end of this season when they meet on the 24th of October what a matchup between Twin Falls and Minico will look like.
Yeah, it'll be similar kind of styles, a lot of run options, really good defenses. Ben Coring over there at Twin Falls always has a good defense. They run that 3-4, just have kids flying around all the time. That'll definitely be one to watch.
It feels like Twin Falls is one of those teams that, I don't have their exact stats in front of me, but it feels like every time that I look at any type of Twin Falls score, the other team is in the teens. It's just whether their offense can put points on the board.
Yeah, I think last year the Minico Twin game came down, it was like 7-6
yeah,
or something like that.
It was really low scoring. And honestly, I thought it could have gone either way. Like going into the game, I had done a Twin Falls game and a Minico game and seen a lot of both of them throughout the season. And that always gets put at the end of the season, which is fun for both sides. Armstrong's going to take the handoff here. Breaks a tackle as we see Bodie Baker with a tackle. First down, Armstrong getting up a little bit slow. Maybe just having a little bit of a conversation with his crosstown folk.
Yeah, all these kids have played each other for years. They all know each other pretty well. I'm sure that they say all nice things to each other as well.
Of course, of course. From the 31-yard line, as we are nearing the end of this one, 26 points put on the scoreboard for Minico in the second half.
Seeing a couple different defensive players out there for Minico, getting a few subs in.
And you love to see it in this type of rivalry game. Armstrong's going to evade a couple tacklers, and he's got room to spare. Another good run by Armstrong. Back-to-back good runs. And next week for the Bobcats, when they face Canyon Ridge, that is something they will, I think I would look to do a lot of, is how can we get Marcus Armstrong the ball, because it seems like good things happen when he has the ball in his hands.
Yeah, he's a stud, offensive, defensive. I mean, hey, cover their best player on the other side. Hey, go get us a couple touchdowns on this offensive side. So, a big load is asked for him, but again, he's a kid that puts in a lot of work.
Armstrong, only a junior, got a little bit of action at the varsity level last year. Tarbit going to look to his right. Again, just the timing's a little bit off with Shirley. First game back. I'm sure that's something that they'll dial up this week a little bit more, work on those routes, because the ball is there. It's just, his head's not quite around in time, or maybe Tarbit just needs to wait a second longer with him. but they'll figure that out, I'm sure.
And again, we keep talking, junior, sophomore, freshman, this and that. I mean, it's a lot of those kids out there don't look like that.
No,
they look like a bigger-bodied kid. They don't look like a sophomore physically. Shirley out there, he's a good-looking, tall receiver.
Yeah, and Tarbett, one of the only seniors that we've really called his name tonight. Toss right to Armstrong. Armstrong, good little juke, almost for the first down. Every time that I see number 2 in the backfield, I know it's Armstrong, but I think of Bodie Coombs from last year. He was electric, and he was for 3 seasons with the Bobcats in the running back position, really doing a lot of carrying the load on offense. I think he played defense as well, if I'm not mistaken, at the linebacker position, but he was a stud.
Yeah, he was also one of those kids that, I don't know, he was probably, 165, 175, somewhere in there, but he ran the ball like he was 225, and he was laying his shoulder ready to go down.
Yeah, so it's fun to see number 2, the legacy kind of continuing with Marcus Armstrong in the backfield. Number 2 lives on. Motion will be Shirley. Hand off to Armstrong. This time he's not going to go anywhere. Great tackle by number 25, Drew Nybar.
That forces them into a 4th down here now.
4th down and 3.
Could look for something quick on the outside, maybe a quick hitch or a quick slant if they're going to kind of expect you to give it to Armstrong up the middle.
And I don't see Cove Thompson. I wonder if they've kind of relieved his duties for the night. So look to see Shirley involved on this play. But instead they'll give, it's going to be a fake to Armstrong. Nybar once again, first one there. Great defensive play by Nybar and company to force a turnover on downs and put a bow on this victory. Well, what will be victory for the Spartans. 3:03 left here in the 4th.
Yeah, it was kind of interesting. We were looking at the average points per game given up, and Burley was sitting at kind of that 14-point margin, and they scored on their first possession. I was like, hey, if they score more than their season average against Minico, that would be a really good, and I think they had all the opportunities like we had said. So I think there are quite a few positives to take out of this game for the Bobcats.
Handoff up the middle to Ethan Heward. Yeah, to your point, they really I always hate to just lean on last year. But I see a lot of things in this Burley squad that I didn't see last year in the Burley squad that was there. And I will say, I think that had a lot to do with the year before they relied so much on Gatlin Bear.
Yeah.
And that was, they knew they were going to score a lot on offense. It just kind of was going to happen. The defense struggled a lot, but they were going to score a lot, and it was kind of a transition year. Mac Jensen got hurt halfway through the year. That hurt a lot, too. They had a lot of seniors that hadn't really played a lot, and then this young group players that were waiting in the wings. So it was kind of a weird transition year. And I will say this is probably still a transition year for the Bobcats, but I like what I'm seeing moving forward, like you said.
And on the other side with Minico, again, just, I think it was good for them to maybe, I wouldn't say adversity, right, but see a little bit of a different of a look and be forced to be playing meaningful football.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And they're coming in, hey, we got an onside kick on us. They went down and scored. Hey, we got to turn this around. We got to get in there. We got to, get back into the XYZ. And that's really what's kept them in the game, or kept them from into the scoring and stuff, is just forcing themselves to be able to just really do the good things. It's the little plays. It's not trick plays that have gotten them the touchdowns. It's a power here. It's a swing pass to the outside on the other side. So I think it's important for them to get some of these kind of reps.
Absolutely. Nathaniel Wallace on the carry there. We'll shout him out as the sophomore gets the carry. I'm just looking at the scores from the season. Against Skyview, Minico wins 37-13. They beat Mountain Home 52-0. Handoff to Ethan Heward here. Good tackle, open field tackle by number 1, Peyton Coates. Bishop Kelly 14-62 loss, and then Jerome 60-21. So like you said, playing meaningful football. They really haven't played meaningful football other than probably the first quarter of Bishop Kelly and then maybe the first half of Skyview. That's not a lot to work with, as you have a couple really tough opponents coming at the end of your season in Madison and Twin Falls. So again, this is something that can be really effective down the stretch for the Spartans.
Interesting there that they never did kneel the ball, just kind of kept running their offense.
Rivalry football. Guzman with the carry right there, as this will be the end of the ball game in what was a very close game in the first half. Minico pours it on in the second half with 26 unanswered. Final score of 42-7 in favor of the Spartans over the Burley Bobcats. We'll run our post-game show, be back to talk about our IdahoSports.com player of the game. Stay with us.
Down looking to blitz. And Sweetwood's going to take it himself. He's going to break one tackle. Second, tier speed. And Sweetwood's going to break that all the way for a Hillcrest touchdown. Big pass. Open receiver. He's got him. Skyline.
Throw it to Cornell. It's going to be a wide receiver pass. Has a man. It's caught at the 30, the 20, the 10, the 5. Into the end zone for the Pocatello touchdown. Sales at IdahoSports.com. Buck out of the timeout. Delivers a strike to Yarbrough. Inside the 20, inside the 10, into the end zone. Touchdown, Sandpoint.
And 10 to go. Senio drops back. Looking over the top, has a receiver, and that is touchdown. Cuna.
Take the snap, drops back, you get a pass. Pass is there, and it's caught! And it's touchdown, Titans! See any of the receivers have a ton of space.
Burning's going to lip to the corner of the end zone. This is Osterman. What a catch! Titus Osterman. 11-yard touchdown.
With more than one. Because again, they go to Iverson for breaks the tackle. I take it back. That's not Iverson. That is Atkinson. It's Cameron Atkinson's going to go. Touchdown.
Welcome back as we put a bow on this broadcast here at IdahoSports.com. Final score, Minico 40, Burley 7. A little bit of a scoring summary here. In the first half, Burley scored their only touchdown of the game after an onside kick on the first possession of the game. 7 minutes off the clock, 10-yard touchdown pass from Tarbett to Thompson. It was followed by a 2-minute drive and a 10-yard touchdown run from Logan Waymont. Afterwards, not another score was taken place until 4:34 left in the second quarter on a 25-yard touchdown run by Brendan Heward. To start off the second half, Logan Waymont 10-yard touchdown pass to Brendan Heward and a 74-yard touchdown run by Brendan Heward. In the fourth quarter, Hartley to Sanders for 80 yards to kind of seal this game and then just to put things in check completely. 20-yard touchdown run from Brendan Heward, and really just a great second half by the Spartans.
Yeah, really good job. I mean, really good opportunity for them to get a couple plays and have a couple players make those plays. You know, again, back to some of that physicality that we talked about for the keys to the game. You know, Minico was that more physical team. That's what they wanted. They wanted to be the physical team, and they did a really good job of proving that.
And a lot to look forward to for both these teams, as next week the Bobcats will travel to Canyon Ridge and the Spartans will host the Idaho Falls Tigers at home. We'll take one more quick break before we bring you our IdahoSports.com player of the game. Stay with us one more time.
As Idahoans, we're not afraid to take risks.
All the way, all the way. Go. All the way down, all the way down.
Driving under the influence is not a risk we're willing to take. Be around to do more of what you love.
Welcome back as we present today's Player of the Game, which is brought to you by the Idaho Office of Highway Safety, reminding you to always keep your head in the game. Whether you're on the field or on the road, be in the moment and free from distractions. Wyatt, who do we got tonight?
Hey, tonight the player of the game is going to be number 2, Brendan Heward. 3 touchdowns, a lot of yards outside of those touchdowns as well. Just a really good all-around game. Really allowed them to get the ball to the outside because he was forcing it on the inside. We talked about his patience running, and then just, boom, exploding through the secondary of the Bobcats, going for long touchdown runs. Brendan Heward, the IdahoSports.com player of the game.
This has been an IdahoSports.com GameStreams production of Magic Valley Game Night. Coverage on IdahoSports.com is presented by Project Filter, Valleywide Cooperative, Next Steps Idaho, Ideal, which is Idaho's college savings program, and the Idaho Office of Highway Safety. Special thanks to Athletic Director Randy Wynn and everyone here at Burley High School for their hospitality and help in getting this game broadcast to you. Congratulations again to our IdahoSports.com player of the game, presented by the Idaho Office of Highway Safety, Brendan Heward. And thanks again to you for joining us as the Minico Spartans defeat the Burley Bobcats by a score of 40-7. For my broadcast partner, Wyatt Helm, and everyone else here behind the scenes at IdahoSports.com, I'm Dallin Fryer saying so long until next time.
This has been a presentation of IdahoSports.com GameStreams. This broadcast is copyrighted to IdahoSports.com. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, or other